Hey guys, J-Man here. We're back in the danger room. We're going to be talking about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There is a lot to talk about for the Falcon and Winter Soldier. We're going to talk about Invincible as well because there was a new episode, I believe, on Friday, and we're going to see where the conversation goes from there. And I will be bringing in people in the chat if they want to come in and chat about whatever topics they've got, and let's get their takes on it. So just to start out with, we're going to bring in Steven. What's going on, man?
Not much. It's Sunday.
It is Sunday, yeah.
Freaking
WrestleMania's on right now, right?
Yeah. I think it starts at 8 and it goes to like 12 almost.
Isn't this kind of this is I don't know. Sean texted me today. He'll probably phase in a little bit later on. He texted me today, and he's not liking this 2-day event. Like there was a 1 hour like pre-event,
yeah,
and then it's like 3.5 hours of like day one, and then it's like another 3.5 hours for tonight. I mean, this is just like basically like 3 or 4 Raw or SmackDown episodes mashed up together. Like that's not an event to me. Like it's supposed to be like WrestleMania was like a 3.5 hour, like 3.5 hour event where every match was killer. You're into the storyline. It's the conclusion of all these storylines. This is what you've been waiting for. This is like the end of the arcs. And it's like, why is it now basically 7 hours plus a pre-show? So we're talking like, why is it now an 8-hour event? I mean, this is like actually preposterous to me. Like that's bloated, man.
Yeah. Well, I think the problem was this really started when they became too big. Like the WWE bought WCW, and then they decided they wanted to run 2 shows simultaneously, which was Raw and SmackDown, right? The brand split.
Yep.
And then they got away from that for a while, and then they've recently gone back. I feel like they've forgotten what WrestleMania is. Like wrestling's become too diluted. There's a pay-per-view every month, which you don't really need. I liked the big 4, which was Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. That was okay. Occasionally throwing King of the Ring as sort of like a floating thing or something like that. That was fine. But now there's a pay-per-view every month. And like half the time you're like, does anyone really care about this person versus this person? Like, well, I think back to WrestleMania. Remember when Shawn Michaels fought Kurt Angle?
Mm-hmm.
That was a big thing because it was like, that was almost like a dream match. And we don't get those anymore. Now,
because there's too many shows.
Yeah.
Everyone's fought everyone.
Yeah. And it's a case of they got too many good guys who they need to give screen time to and run storylines through, and then it becomes too big because they're picking up like the problem is it's going to sound funny. The problem is also the internet, because now all these lower tiered shows like Ring of Honor and New Japan, who we may not have heard of back in the day, now everyone knows the guys from that. Everyone knows the guys from, the second tier leagues. So now when you get like one of them, you're like, oh my God, this guy's got to fight all these people. And it's like, yeah, but now that's more time we have to give. Right. Like, and they're still obsessed with celebrity. Like one of the matches last night was Bad Bunny was in it. Right. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what kind of an athlete this guy is, but why is this guy in a WrestleMania match?
Who that person is.
I believe he's a singer or something. I haven't heard of him before. Maybe someone in the chat knows, but like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's become too diluted because there's too many guys. If you think back to like, the Attitude Era, which quite frankly is overrated, but if you think back to the Attitude Era, there was like 7 top guys. There was like Undertaker, Kane, Austin, Rock, Triple H, Mankind, and I don't know, Jericho or something.
Right.
And that was the 7. and these guys fought each other multiple times. Now it's just like, okay, like Drew McIntyre's got like 30 guys he can fight, and it's like, it's too much.
The problem with too many pay-per-views and too many wrestling shows is that you end up seeing the same things over and over again. Like, it used to be that you'd watch your one wrestling show a week. There'd be the one wrestling event a week, and you'd have your set superstar level characters, and they would fight the jobber characters who were just get beat up all the time. And then occasionally a couple of high ranking guys would like kind of see each other and get into a scuffle or something. And that would pay off in a pay-per-view. I think there needs to be 6 pay-per-views. That's it. Like one every 2 months. Anthony, what's going on? We're going to talk about that once we have everyone in here, because I may have a hot take on this. Because we're going to talk. We're going to talk about that. We're just killing time waiting for some of my guys to show up. This is the WrestleMania pre the Danger Room pre show.
Yeah.
So just to finish the point on the wrestling, it got too crazy. There was now there's a pay-per-view every month, which you can't keep up with. There's 2 or 3 shows. There's NXT, there's Raw, there's SmackDown. There's so many people. It's like they have enough people to make all of these guys, but the thing is, there's not enough screen time.
No.
So you get to a WrestleMania, and I'm like, WrestleMania used to have 10 super kick-ass matches, and that's it. Steven sure is a must-have. Tina Lynn, hey, how's it going? What's your shirt say?
Nobody cares.
Oh my gosh, that is good. I like that. I don't know if you guys are wrestling fans, but one time I went to Mr. Sub, which is a Canadian sub sandwich place, and I was wearing a shirt of Kane, and I went into order. Do you know this story, Steve? Or no?
You may have told it to me, but tell it again.
It's great. Okay, so I go to get a sub, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take a foot long tuna sub 12-inch or whatever. And the guy's like, okay, and he's like, what toppings did you want on it? And I was like, and he's like, it doesn't matter what toppings you want.
Yes.
And I was bloody and I'm like, what? And then he's like, you're wearing. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, yes, I'm wearing the Kane. And it was so funny. And I was caught completely off guard. I'm like, what are you talking about? Why are you so pissed off? And I'm like, that was great. But yeah, there's just too many pay-per-views. This WrestleMania, I mean, I'm going to buy it on Blu-ray because I buy all the WrestleMania. I have every WrestleMania from 1 to 36. What's
this
today's?
This is the 37th this year.
I have 30. Was 36 a 2-night thing?
Yeah.
It was. I didn't like it that much. Well, I liked half of it. I mean, this is what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
There's going to be 2 or 3 good matches on day 1. There's going to be 2 or 3 good on day 2, and you might have like a couple sprinkled, maybe a 1 or 2 good ones, maybe like 3 or 4 on day 1, 3 or 4 on day 2. And you're like, well, why don't you just keep 10 matches, and then have a couple of matches that are just bullshit, and then you got your 12 matches and you're done. Like, why does it need? Like, I remember like WrestleMania, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like where like every match you're like, oh shit, yeah, this is gonna be a good one. Remember, we used to go to Sean's place and I'd make a little betting card, and we do our little predictions and stuff. And it's like now it's like I'm gonna need like 3 pieces of foolscap paper to like, wait, what match is this? Like, I don't know. And I can't gauge anybody either. I can't get into the characters because there's too many, and I don't know who's what. And like, I swear, I just had on the sports channel before coming into do the stream right now, and they've got SmackDown on. I guess it's a pre Mania talk, and I'm seeing the title cards, and I'm seeing the cards. I'm like, I don't know anybody here. And then I saw Logan Paul was on there too.
Yeah,
he's in it. Oh dear, I don't know much about that fellow except for that, which we're not going to talk about what he filmed in Japan. That just pissed me right off. I'm like, well, I think I'm done with this person, and without even knowing who this person is, maybe he's changed his ways. I don't know. But do we need him on a WrestleMania? Like, why do we need him to sell a card? Like,
again, I think it was because it was a lower tiered match, because it was basically Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, which has been done to death. Even before WWE, like, these guys are best friends. They fought each other literally across the world. A couple of Canadians though, so that's cool. But
cool.
like, there's, when I looked at the card, I was interested in maybe 5 matches. Like, I don't care about a lot of them. It's just whatever. And the problem too is that if you get a great character like, say, Shinsuke Nakamura, who I loved when he initially debuted, they had the live violinist and all that. He's got a great theme. He's got a great look, a style. He comes in and he's not even on this card. He's not even on the WrestleMania card. And he wrestled in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which don't even have on this show. And he lost to, like, Roman Reigns' cousin and it's just like, so you get pumped up for a guy coming in, you're like, oh, this guy, and he's a jobber, and he doesn't even make the, like, main card, and you're like, the hell?
Yeah, my breaking point, and this, was Sting.
Yeah,
it's like, finally, Sting, WrestleMania. I mean, this is the final merger, the last guy to kind of, like, from the WCW days of, like, let's get this together. This is, and this is a big thing. And then he loses to Triple H, who's won and lost like 1,000 matches anyways. Like, what's the difference?
Yeah.
Like, Triple H could easily take a loss to give Sting a win. And I just thought, what was the point of that? And literally, I'm like, okay, I'll just watch the WrestleManias to keep the tradition alive, because I don't want it to die, just to honor what I used to watch. I used to watch every pay-per-view and everything. So I only watch WrestleMania now. So I will watch this. God, 8 hours. That's 2 Snyder cuts.
Yeah.
That's 2 Snyder cuts. You watch Snyder Cut and you watch it again. And that's how long wrestling is. It's like, why? There's no story. Like, you don't need to have that much for wrestling.
I actually bought last year's WrestleMania, but not because I was, like, too excited for the card, though it did have, like, the graveyard match, which is Undertaker's last match, so that's good to have. Yeah. And the Cena's match with The Fiend, which is also, I think, maybe his last match. Like, he's not on.
And that was awful.
Yeah.
I didn't like that match at all. That was stupidityness. And the graveyard thing wasn't really that great either. It just seemed like a bad action movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, I don't know. Like, I would have done, if I was going to do the Taker last match, I would have done an actual proper old school, pinfall in the center of the ring.
Well, that's what he thought he's like, this is weird that my last match will not be in a ring. He actually said that. He said, I always envisioned it. But luckily, they did the right thing at Survivor Series 30 years after he debuted, last Survivor Series. He came back. He didn't wrestle, but he came back. They said goodbye. They had a hologram of Paul Bearer holding the urn, because Paul Bearer's passed away. Yeah. And he did the last, kneel. And,
the thing or whatever, yeah. That's cool.
So he went out like that, which is perfect. But it was just like, I got that because it was also, there were no fans. It's sort of a thing when you look back. Exactly. It's like one in a lifetime thing. You'll never see that again. This WrestleMania has fans.
Oh, does it have fans? I didn't.
It has fans.
I'll watch it when it's all. I'll watch it like this. I'll watch it next week. Actually, I bought them all on Blu-ray, so I may as well just get this one. All right, let's get on to Invincible. We'll wait on Winter Soldier because there's a lot to talk about from Winter Soldier. We're gonna have a moment of silence for one of my best characters in that show. Anyways, but Invincible. Did you catch up on Invincible?
Yeah, I just finished it. This episode 5 today.
5, yeah. So I'm so far ahead on comics now that like I don't. My it's starting to. I'm getting mixed up. Like, I'm like, what was the show and what was the comic? Because the show is in a wonky order and it's this TV show now has taken a completely different turn. It's the same things happening, but in different orders, and different consequences because of the choices they made early on in the season. So I'm not I am going to be that guy. The comic book is better than the show, so I'm going to have to be that guy. But that's for everything. So what did you think? Like, are you excited? Like, did you change your opinions on Omni-Man or whatever?
Yeah, first of all, this was the best episode so far. Machine Head was a great character.
Yeah, he's good.
There's a hell of a fight in his office. And Titan, or I think it was
Titan.
He got me. I believed him 100. Like that swerve at the end, I was like, oh, I did not see that coming. That stunned me.
It stunned me when I was reading it. It stunned me as well.
Yeah,
the cartoon didn't stun me because I already read past that.
Yeah.
But when I was reading it, I did not catch that. Like, and the comic did it better too, because it got like it's actually more bloody. The cartoon is more bloody.
Yeah.
And there's no swearing. I don't think there's much swearing in the comic. The cartoon has blood and gore and swearing.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit raunchier with the way they did the thing with Adam Eve. But the comic is not like that, which is weird. It's like the show made it. Usually shows dumb things down instead of this is amping up the violence. Yeah. But anyways, that was a kick-ass. They removed one of the villain characters who I actually really liked them. There was an extra villain in the comic book that wasn't in here. But that Battle Beast guy was kick-ass, man. And that's exactly what happens in the comics. He just beats the shit out of everybody. He's like, well, everyone here's a loser, and he just leaves. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and you know who's voicing him in the
Michael
Dorn. Yeah. So I thought that was great. I'm glad that they seem to be petering out the Amber
Adam Eve or Eve Amber thing.
Yeah, well, the Amber.
Yeah, I know. Nobody's talking about it. Everyone's on this John Walker thing, which I'm going to talk about because I have a hot take on that. But
the Amber Grace, I forget Mark. The
Mark and Amber.
The thing is petering out, which is fine because it's obvious that he's going to end up with Adam Eve. So I don't even.
Well, not a comic yet.
That's interesting.
Not in the comic. I'm on issue 28 or something, and he is not with Eve. It's not even hinted. They're just friends.
Well, this is like I still like that better. The Amber Mark thing, I'm just not. It's not working for me. Like it doesn't matter. Like they keep going back to it.
If they're going by the comic, just you better get used to it then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she ain't going anywhere.
I do now agree with Greymalkin on Omni-Man. He was a scout. He was supposed to like scout for a pre-invasion because he keeps saying, "Oh, I didn't intend it to be this way. You know, it wasn't supposed to be this way," sort of thing. So it's kind of like he ended up falling in love with an Earth woman and not doing the invasion thing. But he sort of said, well, maybe I'll get my son to follow my footsteps. That's why he's training him and stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely closer to what it is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's bad. He was bad, right? So the thing is that that's you're actually you're not you haven't hit it yet, but like you're in the right realm,
right?
Yeah, he's because he's acting really shady in all of these things or whatever. Now, in the comic, he is not around for any of this stuff. Like, it's like his story was somewhat resolved before any of this even went down. Like before the Mars mission.
Oh,
before this Titan thing, like Omni-Man should not be in any of these episodes. They've completely turned around the story. I'm sure they're going to explain Omni-Man's thing in the finale of season 1, but I can guarantee you the finale of season 1 is going to be like where issue like 15 was or something, and like we're way past that. Like, like Eve is like it's like completely different things are going on with Eve. Mark and Amber, completely different things are going on. Like the comic is very fast moving and fast paced. There's a character who we haven't seen that comes back. I've read the origin of Alan the alien.
Oh,
yeah, he's wicked. He's a great character.
Yeah, I thought this was the best thing. I really like Titan.
Yeah, he's
the
good.
character. He was really cool. And just that fight was, it's just very visceral. It's like that Battle Beast guy. I'm like, holy crap. Because he's there with a bunch of other people, and you're like, okay, you like minions, right? Like you think when you see him. And then he just like goes to town. Like Beast Girl, he just annihilated her. And I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, he annihilates everybody. Even in the comic, he just literally annihilated everybody. And it's like, and then literally he's just like, oh, this place is boring. He goes, I thought I was going to get some challenge out of here. And he just leaves. You're like, oh okay. And that's the way you subvert expectations in a good way. Like you see him, you think, well, he's just going to be a henchman. Invincible and Titan are going to just kick the crap out of all these guys. And they kind of were they're holding up a good fight against the others. But then Battle Beast comes in and just beats the crap out of everybody, and you're just like, oh, okay. And then he leaves, and I thought I'm reading this. I'm like, oh my god, he left. And he hasn't come back yet, so I don't know if he's coming back. I think he legit left. He's like, this place is shit, and he left. I'm like, oh, okay.
He won't be back.
He won't be back. So I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm liking the way, like, so it's interesting for me to watch this and read it sort of almost at the same time. I can read faster than the episodes come out. Right. So like it's like as the episode comes out, I've already read past that one. So it's like I'm kind of just basically ahead of it or whatever. Yeah. So in the comics, Eve is not his girlfriend yet. Anthony, did you read the comics? I forgot. I can't remember if you read the comics or not. I think you did. I think you may be one of the ones who did. So he's not with her right now. Eve is like, and they made Eve's parents asses in this, and they're not really like that in the comics. You don't see the parents. In the comic, she just like, how she's like, I want to do something more.
Yeah.
She just comes to that conclusion on her own because she's just like, what's the point? Like, do you know what Eve's powers are?
I thought she was kind of like Jean Grey.
Nope. And this is funny because literally they didn't explain it for a while in the comics, and they haven't explained it here because like she's like, oh, literally, she's Firestorm. She rearranges atoms.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, I literally make like, pink little shield force fields and stuff. It's like, she's like, I can literally go to like Africa and like make food. Like that's like, this is in the comics. She's like, I'm flying around like an idiot, doing this crap. It's like, I could literally, go somewhere and make a real difference. So I like that about her.
So what's the deal with Robot Man? Like that guy just completely confounds me. Like,
I don't know. Comics, he's still being he's weird. He's okay. So shit. I don't know what I'm getting. No, I don't know if this is a spoiler. Then we have not seen Robot talk to anyone. Have we seen him talk to anyone in the cartoon? That's not someone we've seen. Like a behind the scenes person.
No, he's talked to the clone. That's the clones. That's it. And he's in the fight.
Okay. That was the last thing. There's someone else that he knows. But Robot has not done anything. I'm just saying, I haven't read this, so I don't know. I'm just saying he's going to be a bad guy or something because I've now seen the person who he's working with, and that person does not look like a good guy, but I could be wrong. But he's being weird in this, like he's working with those clones, right? So it's
like, well, I think he was working with the clones. Who did he take the blood from again?
He's collecting samples. He got Rex. I think he got some of
Beast Girl.
Yes, yeah, he got some of her. So he's collecting. I don't know if he's doing like, remember League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? Yeah. Where Dorian Gray was collecting the League's like abilities. Like he took a potion from Hyde. He took an invisible formula injection. Like I think it's something like that. Like he's trying to create like an anti-League or something. That's speculation because I have not read this, so I actually don't know if that's what's happening.
Well, to me, he's doing it because he's using the clones obviously to grow his own team. But I feel like he's just like, oh, this team is not good enough. Like he's like very logical. So he's like, this team isn't good enough. They don't, because you see Black Samson is like, oh, this team doesn't run like a team. And he's like, I agree. So it's almost like he wants to grow his own team to control them, to like make them do how he wants them to do. Like kind of like what you're saying, but maybe not as evil. Like maybe like good intention, but like it's going to end up bad.
Well,
badly.
I saw the person who is guiding him, and that person does not look like a good person. So I'm thinking it's like, unless the robot is tricking this person, like he's reporting to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and the person he's reporting to does not look like a good guy. I mean, it's like comic 101. It's like that's a villain. It's like Machine Head, you know. You know, it was
Yeah.
really funny where he's like, "Oh, which one's Machine Head?" It's like, really? And it's like the guy who's got a robotic head. Like,
Yeah.
um, that was great. There's some
Yeah.
funny parts in Invincible too. I like
Oh
the
yeah.
animation. It looks very bright. I
Yeah.
like when the blood, like when he's like punching through guys. It's like super like mega gore blood. I like that. I like that it's like very good. It's a good red blood where you're like, whoa, it just pops out. And I like how they work the title in whenever they say the name Invincible.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Um, they're it's like, who are you? I'm and the title comes up in
Yeah. Yeah.
Invincible. I like that a lot. I think that's really cool. I like the voice acting a lot.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad they've kept Omni Man in longer, like because in the comic he kind of went away. And then I like um, that he's still in it or whatever, right? Because it's a little bit of a mystery as to the comic. Like I don't know what's going on with Omni Man in the comics. It's just like I mean it's going to be obvious that they're going to figure out it was him, right?
Right.
So I mean that's obvious. But then after that, it's like they kind of figure out it's him, and then you don't see him for a while. So I haven't seen him again. I'm like, oh, like what's going on? So it's kind of neat that he's still here
Right.
while all this is happening. The Martians were great too.
They had their own version of Starro.
I know. Yeah. Those little squiddy things, and they're just like, he's like, yeah, we can't. You're not leaving. It's like, run. So that's right out of the comic. That whole thing is the
Right.
same. The comic explains it a little bit more because there's just more dialogue, whatever.
Yeah.
So they're pretty much doing everything by the comic, just not in the same order. And they've retooled a few things and changed some relationships around. Like Eve and Amber do not meet up with each other at all in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just separate people. They did race swap Amber. She's just like a blonde white girl. It doesn't play a part, so it's one of those ones where it doesn't, I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
His friend though, who they made gay in the cartoon, his friend was actually straight and dating Eve
Oh yeah.
in the comics. Yeah. Hey Caleb, what's going on? Steve, yes. Hey, how's it going?
Hey Caleb.
So yeah, I mean, Invincible has been really fun, and even reading the comic and it not being it the same. Andrew, what's going on, man?
Hey.
SpiderMan.
I like though that they did that because I think adding Eve and his friend dating is like another complication.
It doesn't last long, anyways.
Yeah, like it doesn't last long, and to be honest with you, you want to keep that will they or won't they a little bit. If she's already dating his friend, and it's a definite won't be. But right. I think this show's trying to make it a little bit more ambiguous.
Yep, and they're trying to take. I don't mind. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Like exactly. They haven't destroyed the characters. They're just doing it in a little bit of a different way. So right. The only thing is it's really confusing to me because I'm watching and reading. So I'm reading something. I'm like, oh man, did I read this already? I'm like, oh crap, no, this was on the cartoon. Like, a couple of things happened earlier than the comic, and I thought, what the hell? So, but there's this other character they have not shown anyone who you remember the Jet Li movie, The One, where he goes to different universes. Is there a character like that or no? In the cartoon, no, right? Okay, that this character has been building this like army of himself. Like he's like going around different dimensions and like collecting himself. He can travel through, and I don't know, that guy has not been shown at all. So I don't know what's going on with that character. And he's a wicked. He's cool. I think my favorites. Who are your favorites in
the show?
Yeah,
I love Adam Eve.
Yeah, I think she's good.
She's really awesome. I really like her a lot. I really like Titan. I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah, I think Titan's great, and I like this angle.
I like Robot.
Yeah, me too.
I really like Beast Girl. I was kind of
She's all
bummed to
right.
see
Yeah,
her go. I hate who I don't like. I can't stand Rexplode.
yeah,
I can't
he's
stand that
trash.
guy.
He's supposed to be a guy who's
I
irritating.
know, but it's just like every time I'm like, oh, this guy again, and it's just like whatever. I don't care about him. Everyone else I'm fine with. I don't dislike anyone other than Rexplode. But I really Adam Eve is my favorite character. I think.
I think. Well, your three favorites are kind of my three favorites. I think I like. I think I like Robot. I don't know. He
Yeah,
just seems
Robot's
neat.
awesome, man.
I like Robot. I like Eve a lot as
Yeah.
well. I mean Titan because of how they did that. I was very interested in what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
So he really leveled up. Like I thought he was okay. You know, he was just a character, and then in that one issue or in this one episode where he does this trick or whatever and gets Invincible to help him, I thought, well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And now he's in charge, and I'm actually very interested to see what he does. So like I'd like to see them go. Hopefully they go back. Now they have not gone back in the comics yet, and they made in the cartoon. So hopefully they go back to see more of what he's doing because I think that'd be super interesting because I'm really pumped up to see what Titan does. Rexplode is like, Monster Girl's like okay. The other characters like I like Omni Man because I'm interested. I like Cecil. Yeah. He's kind of neat.
Oh, I was going to say I really like Cecil because I like him leaving the blood splash and they're like, "Oh, you missed a spot," and he's like, "No, that's a reminder."
That was cool. I like that.
Cool.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about the mom in Invincible? Like,
I like her. She seems to be very good. She's like investigating now. She's having doubts about Omni Man. I think that's she seems to be a very strong character. I like her. Omni Man. The problem with Omni Man is he's such a douche.
Yeah.
Like he's standing there watching his son get like splattered.
Right.
And he's not doing anything. I'm just kind of like, I'm at the point now where he's becoming like someone's got to take this guy out. Like I was actually hoping, I knew it wouldn't happen, but when he was killing the Guardians, I'm like, every time he took a hit, I was very happy. Because I'm like, this guy's just a schmuck, man. Someone's got to do something to him.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's a big thing with that attack on the Guardians of the Globe. There's a big thing that they haven't shown yet. So the cartoon will definitely show it. I'm betting in the last episode of this season, I can almost tell you exactly what's going to happen just seeing how they did this. The character of the mother has been sort of drastically altered because they changed the order of events. Like Omni-Man, like it's not a spoiler to say that they're going to find out Omni-Man killed the Guardians, right?
Well, Cecil already knows.
Yeah. So he killed the Guardians and the mom found out way earlier. So she's only slowly coming to the realization, but she found out way earlier in the comics. And like when Cecil found out, she found out.
Right.
And that changes everything because now she's like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do? You know, Here she hasn't found out yet.
Right.
Right. So like, because the order's been changed, it's a little bit weird. Hey, Belle.
Hey, Belle.
Yeah, I mean, so Invincible's really neat. It's kind of I'm interested to see where this goes. Yeah, nobody's talking about it. I don't know why. Maybe like too much Disney stuff, and I guess like DC. Look, DC and Marvel. Say what you want. They're still the top news getters. People at my job, who are just normies, they watched they watched Justice League. They watched Wonder Woman 84. They've watched WandaVision. They're kind of watching they haven't watched Falcon yet, some of them. But nobody has seen Invincible. So I was going around telling everybody to watch it.
You know why? Because it's animated. And there's still that stigma of animation that it's for children and adults aren't going to watch it.
Yeah, that's why they had to up the violence,
I
think, in order to get Invincible spoilers. Well, I haven't spoiled anything. Because I've read, well, there's 144 comics. I've read about 30 of them. So I'm ahead of the cartoon, but I haven't spoiled anything. Ish. I haven't spoiled it ish, But yeah, nobody's talking about. So I went around last week telling everybody, you got to watch Invincible. Please get in there. Yeah, you're right. And I think animation people are like, oh, because people have watched The Boys, right? And everyone's watched The Boys, and I thought, well, I think they just think, oh, it's a cartoon, so it's gonna be stupid or whatever. But I think that's why they made it more bloody. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's the same. Like animation's been fighting that stigma for a while now. Like the stuff on Adult Swim,
Mm-hmm.
that sort of thing. Like Robot Chicken, which I guess technically isn't that. I don't know if you would consider it animation. Yeah, it is animation because they have to animate the figures. But the adult cartoons have been fighting that, and it's hard to get like mainstream because they cartoons are for kids. Like if you put on YTV on Saturday, it's all like kiddie cartoons, and that's what adults know. Like
And
so,
people can't seem to like break that, like in their
yeah,
mind they can't break that stigma. No, okay, so The Boys, is that Garth Ennis? It's
yes,
not. It's Garth Ennis,
it's
right?
Garth Ennis. Yeah,
I looked. It's pretty rough. I actually really really like the television show a lot.
mm-hmm.
I like the show a lot. And I feel that it's just enough of the weirdness to not turn off. Like I mean, like my wife watched she watched like 10 minutes of the first episode, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm done." I like it because I like horror movies and I like rough
Yeah,
stuff. I like when they deconstruct superheroes and that. Like I like Watchmen, right, and all that. My wife likes Watchmen as well, but I like that kind of stuff. The comic was a little bit too rough, and with comics, because in Canadian dollars it's about $6 or $7. It comes out to like $6 a comic in Canadian. For in American it's like $4 or $5. So The Boys, it's very difficult for me to pay $5 or $6 every time. The comics I collect are the comics that the Batmans, the Supermans, Wonder Woman, right, Nightwing. I can't. It's hard for me to take a chance on comics if because they're so expensive. So what I usually do is same with Invincible. I wait till the comic is done,
yeah,
and then they put it together in a collection on digital, and then
mm-hmm.
I paid $60 for the entire all the compendiums
Yeah.
of Invincible, and to me that's a great value. But The Boys I never went back and bought because I started watching the show. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm okay with the show. Um, you know, I like it. I like The Boys. Did you catch up on The Boys, Steve, or no?
I'm halfway through season one.
Halfway through season one, and there's two seasons. There's two seasons.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I would be willing to give Du Bois a chance, but the problem is that Carl Urban is just so damn good as the
He's
Butcher.
The best.
Like, it's hard for me to then look at a
drawing and not
see
think of him.
Carl Urban, right? Like, I don't know. He's just so awesome. I can't. That cast is really good.
It's a
right?
great
Like it's a great cast,
yeah,
and I don't know. Funny enough, I don't know if the comic would do it justice. Even though
I know it's not. I know it's not fair because we're watching a live action thing,
yeah,
right? And that always connects with people,
yeah,
right? So it's hard to go back to the comics and say like, well, but it is what it was easy with Invincible because it's still animated. So again, that's another. Yeah, you don't care about spoilers. I mean, we've been spoiling the 5th episode, but not. I've read ahead, so I know what's coming. So I haven't spoiled anything like that. Sorry, Belle. I'm not sure if that's what you meant. The whole history of Invincible.
okay.
You spoiled it for yourself. Yeah, so there you go. The Boys was fun read. Yeah, it's dirty. It's a bit dirty. And as everybody knows, I like Wonder Woman 1984, so I don't want it to get too dirty. No, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with non-Marvel DC characters being dirty because they're not that's a character like when you create the Butcher or you create Homelander or any of those characters, they're brand new characters, so you've got an open platform. You tell your story however you want. It's your character. This is your development. Garth Ennis is very into. Did he do Preacher? That's a great series.
I believe. Yeah, he did.
He may have done Preacher as well.
Yeah, I think
Preacher's quite good. And I heard that it's pretty close to the comics. I watched the first couple seasons of Preacher, and I thought that was actually very well done as well. why I like comics is that it's very diverse. Like you can tell any story you want. It's like manga. There's so many different versions of like so many different genres of manga. You can just go on forever.
Yeah.
Where am I at here? Hey, Bar CB, what's going on? That's okay. That's okay. We'll be
yeah.
We're gonna. I'm just waiting for a couple of my other panels. Sean is always going to be late on these because he just wants to. He needs to feel like he's appearing.
Yes.
Like it's yes. Like
Sean is the high maintenance one of the group.
He's the high maintenance guy. He has to do his beard.
Yeah.
He has to comb everything. I'm just wearing I'm literally wearing Superman pajamas. It's like and my Joker t-shirt. The hashtag not the true Joker t-shirt.
Yes.
Yes. Is this the true Joker, Steve? Do you think he's the real Joker?
But you know what the problem is? There's so many now versions of the Joker. It's hard to remember who the real Joker is anymore.
That's a good point.
Like, I'm constantly like, because you watch, even while I'm reading Joker's War right now, I'm completely like sitting here like, is this still the Joker? Because this still doesn't seem like the Joker to me. I don't know why. Like, I'm getting so confused with the Joker character with all these different like takes on him.
Yeah, Joker seems to. I'm like he's just taken the world by storm. It's like everyone wants to know who's playing the Joker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like even when you have guys, it's like, okay, Jared Leto's doing Joker. Do you think they redeemed it? Well, he didn't really have a big enough scene to be redeemed. I don't think he was redeemed. Yeah, I don't think so either. You need to have maybe they could redeem him in a future movie. Like, I don't mind if they redeemed Jared Leto and made him more like a classic Joker in another movie. And then you could just say, well, he was just being weird, because the Joker can change his attitude around. I don't think that's such a bad thing. The Joker wore Rick Grayson. I don't like Rick Grayson. Yeah. I don't like Rick Grayson either, but he's back to Dick as of issue 78 something.
Yes, it's 78.
76, 77, 78, 79.
Well, he turns it around. He turns it around in Joker War, right? He does turn it around.
And then in the very next issue. So Barcy, I actually started, and I could actually get the comic. It's already bagged and boarded in my closet, but it's like issue 76 or 77 or something, and literally he's back to Dick Grayson, and then I literally ignored that entire section, and I'm just back to Dick Grayson now.
That was the worst part, because they're trying to say like he manipulated him and blah blah blah, and I'm like, it's Dick Grayson. Like, you at this point, when Batman was dead, right? Mm-hmm. And this is pre-52, right? When he was dead, and then Dick Grayson took up the mantle of Batman, and he was Batman through the Black Mirror and Gates of Gotham, which I read both of those and all that. I mean, I don't know if people were like overjoyed. Like, I still think they wanted Bruce Wayne to be Batman, but no one was like throwing up in their shoes. You could believe
Dick Grayson's okay.
Yeah, you could believe that Dick Grayson is the next in line in succession to be Batman, right? And unless you're doing Batman Beyond. So, like,
right.
Like, for him to be like manipulate, that was the one thing I didn't like about Joker War, is the whole idea that Joker has manipulated him to the point that he would betray Batman and attack the other Robins. Like, that's ridiculous to me.
Yeah, but wasn't his mind all messed up or something?
His mind, and there was a crystal, and
it was
whatever.
Weird, like, I didn't read that, so I didn't read any of that. Like, literally that entire thing. Well, you're reading it, you could tell me what happens, so I'm just gonna bow to whatever you say. But yeah, literally, there's a mutual friend of ours, our mutual friend's brother, who I guess is a mutual friend. He reads everything, and I just asked him. I said, literally, can you just tell me the number? And then he told me the number, and then literally I'm like, okay, I'm going to just read from that, and then that's pretty much where it's gotten to. Joker's definitely open to interpretation. So because he has no actual origin, it's like if you say Batman's origin is he killed his own parents and then went on you're like, that's wrong. but Joker never gave a real origin, so you can make one up. And even Killing Joke, which is sort of the origin, but it's not the true origin either.
Yeah, you can't trust it. Yeah,
the new Nightwing is awesome. Yeah. It's the damn best. Yeah. I just bought the Dick Grayson Nightwing McFarlane figure. It's really nice. It's a nice figure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he has no origin, so you can say whatever the heck you want.
You can't trust what he says.
Yeah. No, you can't trust trust him.
No.
So what about I want to get into a little bit of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm like dying to talk about this.
Yeah.
And it's just it's okay. We're gonna definitely talk about the ending of that episode for sure. There's gonna be a hot take from me, and it's gonna be everyone's gonna hate me as they always do. I get weird hate for weird. I don't know. Maybe people will like me anyways, but I'll just get hate for no reason. But I'll say that I'll leave my opinion. Oh, okay. Okay. Bell's asked, "What's your favorite version of the Joker on screen?"
On the love screen.
A live screen. I think she meant.
Oh, no, on the live screen panel. Okay.
My favorite Joker in film. Well, I like the animated series Joker, really. I suppose. But if we're talking real life action, I'm gonna say Jack Nicholson. I'll tell you why. Because Jack Nicholson was crazy, but still kind of Joker, and I'll tell you. I'll explain why. He was crazy. Look, he was gonna gas all of Gotham, but he had to trick them to come out. So he was literally dumping money and wasting money just to get people to come out so he could gas them all. That's insane and genius. Also, he kept changing around what he wanted to do. First, he wanted to poison everybody with chemicals and give them the Joker face, which is a classic Joker thing. Then he wanted to just make art and mess people's faces up and call it art. So he kept changing around his thing. He didn't have a plan because Joker's kind of crazy. So he just flip-flops from things, right? He's like, well, I'll do this now, and then I'll do this. I like that aspect. And I like the look of him. I thought having the being stuck in the smile is kind of interesting. It's a little weird, but I thought that was cool. And I just like the craziness of that. And then he was also very sinister for doing all those things, right? And also he did a lot of things that made points where it's like, okay, he's using makeup. And he goes, so if you're a very vain person or if you're someone who needs to constantly put makeup on, you're dead. It's like, oh, that was really killer. He's my favorite, I think, of the live action. If we don't, and I also love Cesar Romero, but that's sort of just too silly to be Joker. What's your favorite Joker?
Yeah, same. Jack Nicholson. It's just he embodied everything I knew about the Joker, and I associated with the Joker. Yeah. I still do to this day. I'll when things are going bad in the day job, and I have colleagues of me saying, this is crazy. I'm like, this town needs an enema, and I'm like, I wish that noise makes it. Yeah. I just love that, and I love how he's stealing my balloons. He's stealing, he's like, why didn't someone tell me he had one of those things? He's like, Bob.
He doesn't know what it is.
He's like, Bob.
How is someone going to tell him that he has one of those things when he himself doesn't even know what it is? This is what I'm saying. It's so clever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
And he's like Bob Gunn, and he just shoots
Bob. Yeah, it's like, we're gonna need a moment or two alone, boys.
He pulls the huge gun out of his pants.
Oh, that is class, and it actually takes down the Batwing, for Christ's sakes. Yeah, we're gonna hit it up pretty big. Jack Nicholson, definitely nostalgic. Yeah, Mark Hamill. So if we're gonna go by that, if we're saying any Joker, then Mark Hamill, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
I don't think would there be anyone who would not say that? Anyone in chat would not say Mark Hamill? If he's in the running, I would say he has to be.
But the animated series, I mean, honestly, brass tacks, what was probably the best Batman show ever was the animated series.
Yeah, it has to be. If someone can make a case for something other than I actually personally love Brave and the Bold.
Yeah,
and this is the Wonder Woman 84 thing where it's Silver Age.
Yeah,
I like the Silver Age feel of it being fun and colorful. But if you're talking about what's the legit, like, kind of the perfect Batman that meshes everything together, like he's still a detective, he also does superhero stuff. There's also some fantasy. I think that the Batman animated series and the Mask of the Phantasm was a friggin' awesome movie. I think that's the best of Batman. If anyone doesn't think that, let me know what your thoughts are. Oh yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting point. Depending on when you started reading comics, you might like, we're all, Steve and I are old fogies, so we've been reading from thing. What's going on, Cosmo?
Hey,
Cosmos John.
Hey. Yeah,
so
it's
Mark Hamill's the best Joker, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And you hear his voice, and you know what the problem has become, though? I don't know if you've noticed this with non-Joker parts. Like, I'll give you an example. Kingsman, he was in that at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
When he talks now, I now hear the Joker all the time.
His voice has been typecast.
Yeah, like, it's hard for me. Like, when he's there, I'm like, oh, he's talking to the Joker, like in the beginning, Kingsman, right? So even when he's in a situation where he's endangered, I'm like, oh, he'll just pull a large gun out of his pants and shoot him or something. Like, it's to a point where I'm hearing the joke. I thought Mark Hamill changed his voice dramatically to be the Joker, because Bruce Timm always said that, like, he was the guy who was the animated guy in the room. He would actually play out the actions that the character would be doing when he's talking. But now I'm listening to him, I'm like, that is Mark Hamill's voice. Natural voice is kind of the Joker.
He just tunes it up a little bit, tunes his voice, and he's good. That's why I didn't want him to be the voice of Chucky, because Brad Dourif is Chucky, and thingy's Mark Hamill. Yeah, Mark Hamill, Jack. Yep, those two I agree with. Troy Baker Joker's copy of one. Yeah, right, exactly. He's trying to emulate Arkham Gaming. What's going on, man? Arkham Gaming animation. Oh yeah, for sure.
The Arkham series is awesome.
Yep.
Was also but his joy.
Yeah.
It's he did it so well. It's hard to. I mean, between Joker and like Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill's had the best and worst of two worlds. The best in he's got to play these two iconic characters that will, last beyond his life. Bad because now when you listen to him, like the man, like whenever there's a Joker animated series or video game where Joker's in it, everyone's like, is it Mark Hamill? No, it's Troy Baker. And Troy Baker's the guy who took over for him briefly. Yep. He's like, I'm never going to do this again. And then they're like, Mark, we'll back up a truckload of money onto your front lawn. And he's like, oh, beep, 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 beep.
It's like, okay, I'm back. I'm back.
So, like, if you got an animated show or something or video game and Joker's in it, everyone's going to be like, is it Mark Hamill? And if not, why not?
Why not? I super agree with you. He just made it, and because it's a voice,
I know,
you can use it. Like, I mean, James Earl Jones is still pumping out the Darth Vader dialogue, right?
Yep.
So I mean, like, when it's a voice, it's going to be tough for Mark Hamill to do Luke Skywalker in a live action capacity. If they want to do the deep fake, and use Sebastian Stan or just use Sebastian Stan in general and just make him Luke. But like Joker, that's a no-brainer. Like, he could just be Joker all the time.
So, asking you about that, because I know your stance on Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And that Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones.
Yes.
Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker. So
I know. Okay, so that's I know what you. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, oh gosh, it's really tough. It's like if you look at James Bond or Batman or Superman, those people have been recast. They've had it so, like, they started out as comic book characters. James Bond was a literary character, so you have different interpretations of that character depending on what actor comes to the table. But Indiana Jones was created and is Harrison Ford. So I would either say, I mean, they had young Indiana Jones, right?
Yeah.
So I would say if Harrison Ford can play Indiana Jones, allow him to play it. If they can't play it, then I have to start thinking, do I want another Indiana Jones at all? Or do we just say that series has had its time and that's it? Or we have to start thinking about casting. So this is where we're at with Luke Skywalker. What's Anthony got to say? Trash J, yes, JJ, Ryan Johnson. Oh no, JJ, sorry, JJ Abrams did ruin Luke Skywalker. Yeah, and the Mandalorian saved him. And then I'm sure they'll ruin it. They'll probably ruin it in a different way. JJ Abrams ruined the Han Solo character. Look, it's all about characters. I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you. If you ruin Han Solo and you ruin Luke Skywalker, even if the movie has good points besides that, it's very difficult to come back from something like that. It's just what you can do. He doesn't want to. He didn't want to continue in India. He didn't want to continue in Return of the Jedi. He was supposed to die in Return of the Jedi, like Han Solo.
Mm-hmm.
And the great thing about films is that they're not a democracy. You have a contract, buddy. You're in this movie, so you're in it. Like, I don't care what Harrison Ford wants. Too bad.
Well, there's certain things. There's things that are like poetry. Like it's very poetic that this character dies, right? And it's better for dramatic effect if this person dies or for the story you're telling. And then there's instances where that goes out the window because the character is so popular. And where I'm thinking about is actually Walking Dead and seeing shirts that says, if Daryl gets bit, we'll riot. Right. Where the Daryl character became very popular, probably more popular than Rick.
Yeah, he's the most popular. He had his own room at the convention where nobody else, you had to have a ticket to go see him.
Yeah. So it's the same thing where when you have a character that popular, yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. When you have a character, I don't get why he hates the character so much.
I don't know, because Harrison Ford, besides Indiana Jones and Han Solo, he doesn't have any other characters that have really done anything. And it's not like he's had any great roles. Like, I like Fugitive. That was a cool movie. I like What Lies Beneath. That was a cool movie. But like, are these movies like, blowing up the world and Oscar winning? Is this like a Heath Ledger perform? You know what I mean? Like, it's like he made good movies. That's good. And those are his two big characters.
Yeah, I think the problem with Ford is that he was a late bloomer, right? He didn't become popular till he was in his mid-30s. And I think he saw, like, the problem with Star Wars is that a lot of people who worked on it just thought it was silliness.
Right.
And they thought, it's almost like that theater, like, mentality where it's like, I'll do movies for the money. I'll do theater for the love of the craft.
Of the craft. Right.
Right. So.
Let's see, where are we at here? Top five best Ford movies. The 3 Star Wars and the first 2 Indiana Joneses.
And The Fugitive. The Fugitive was really good.
That's 5. I just did 5. That was the easiest top 5 of all time. Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, Temple of Doom, Raiders. There you go. You could swap any of those around, kind of, except Empire Strikes Back is for sure the best.
Right.
The rest you can swap around. I think Fugitive is good.
Yeah. Blade Runner, of course. Blade Runner, of course.
Oh, Blade Runner, yes. Okay, so let's say the Star Wars movies are 1, the Indiana Joneses are 2. Blade Runner, yeah, that's probably number 3. That's got to be number 3.
Yeah, easy.
Fugitive, do you think it was that good? I thought it was pretty good.
Top 5. Top 5.
You think top 5, Fugitive?
Yeah, for sure.
What about Frantic?
I didn't see Frantic, and I didn't see Witness.
Oh,
Witness, I heard, was really good.
Shit, yeah. I don't think I saw that one either. That passed me by as a kid. I should go back and watch that one now that you mentioned talking about it. What else? American Graffiti?
I didn't see American Graffiti.
Oh, you didn't? Come on.
Yeah, dude, I never saw American Graffiti.
That's a classic, man.
I don't consider his Tom Clancy roles that great.
Oh, people really like those, though.
I know, Patriot Games and Clear and Present Danger. They were okay. Like, it might have more to do with Tom Clancy than anything himself, because it's very like slow boil, and you're like, my God, when are we going to get to something?
Well, I mean, I think, and we got Blade Runner 2049. If you want to count that,
yeah,
like that's in there as well. I love Daryl, my favorite character. Walking Dead is Carl. Yes, is Carl still around? No,
no idea.
Carl is the son, right? I think he's dead.
Yeah.
Rick was my best character. When Rick left, I was like, okay, they didn't kill Negan. I'm like, yeah, it's over. He's not
Like
really. Yeah,
Martha
he's not.
Cherry was.
He's not type. He wasn't typecasted.
No, it's not JJ fault.
No, JJ wasn't. JJ is involved in in those movies. Look, JJ Abrams always remakes stuff. I know Arkham. I know we always have this tiff, you and I. JJ remakes stuff. He's like, I love Star Trek. I'm this visionary director. I'm going to take Star Trek in a new direction, except I'm going to redo the old stories with a new cast. It's like, that's not a new direction, and that means you're not a fan. Because if you're a fan of Star Trek, no one replaces Kirk and no one replaces Spock. Like, and no one kills Han Solo in that dumbass way. Don't have the characters in it. In the new trilogy, Han, Leia, and Luke are never together. My God, we waited our whole lives to see them back together again, and we never saw that. What is Disney thinking? Even if the rest of the movies are perfect, I cannot condone that. Like, I can't condone it. And I do think, because I don't like anything JJ has done, period. I don't like that, whatever that 80s movie, Spielberg movie tried to do. I don't like Super 8. I don't like Super 8 at all. It was boring. I don't like the Star Treks. Like, in fact, I hate the Star Treks.
MI3.
I hate MI3. Actually, that's the worst one for me. I don't like the two Star Wars. The best movie JJ made was Rise of Skywalker, because that one didn't remake anything, and it also didn't really ruin. Do you think it ruined any characters, or like, it's a sloppy movie, but JJ had to tie up a lot of loose ends. So I don't. Okay, I'll give you this one, Arkham. If you're still on here. I'm not going to blame him for Rise of Skywalker, but I will blame him for Force Awakens. Steve, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to say the word blame, because JJ, I think it's just doing what JJ does. It's just that I don't think what JJ does is very good.
That might be you know what? That's a better way to put it. That's probably a better way to put it than I put it. Yeah, JJ, you're hiring him to produce it on time, to give the fans something familiar, right? And that is what he does. So this is why Superman is going to be weird, because if he literally just remakes the Christopher Reeve movie with better effects and more action, then I guess that's okay. But
yeah,
but if he's going to try to take it in a different direction where he doesn't know what he's talking about. I never read JJ's son wrote a comic book for SpiderMan, which I plan on reading, and I should read that and review it. Let's get to Anthony. No, I know, and let me tell you something too. I hate JJ. Let me tell you. Let me tell you something. I'm not mad at anybody.
No,
I'm not going to death threat people. I'm not going to yell at them. If JJ came on right now, I would tell him that I do not like the way you do these things, but I would not get angry at him. And I don't hate him, and I don't want bad things to happen to him, and I don't want him to lose his job or whatever. But I'm not a fan of it. If there's people that are fans of it, that's great. And remember, I bought all those movies. I have every Star Wars movie. I have every Star Trek movie, even the ones I hate. I still bought them. So yes, I supported JJ with my money. Now I'm a completist, right? I bought Justice League. I bought Justice League on Blu-ray because I want to complete everything. And at that time, I don't know if there's a Snyder cut coming. And remember, I'm not a super huge fan of Snyder stuff, but I'm still going to buy the Snyder cut on 4K. That's just what I do. So I don't hate anybody. In fact, I have a lot of Rey collectibles in that shelf there. I've got a Rey statue. I've got the two Black Series figures. I got some Funko Pops. I got her little snow thingy. I liked Rey in the first half an hour of Force Awakens. I thought she was a great character. I thought she was awesome. And I liked her parts in Rise of Skywalker that were just about her doing stuff. But unfortunately, JJ as a filmmaker, I just cannot get behind him. But we're not gonna do any hatred. Barcy. I'm not nervous at all. When they announced JJ, I lost sleep. I couldn't sleep. I woke up in a sweat. I thought, oh God, no, why? Why are you doing this to me? So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm nervous all the time.
Yeah.
Arkham Gaming. All right. The downfall
You have JJ, then you have Ryan. You have two directors with different directions.
Yes, that is correct.
That's a fair comment.
That is very fair comment, and I agree with you. Had JJ continued, perhaps Rise of Skywalker wouldn't have been as big of a mess as it was.
So,
Steve?
Thing is that, and I've said this before, and I've said this, it's hard to introduce new characters and then have the old characters come back and try and mesh the two.
Right. Don't have them.
Because Rey's story, Finn's story, Poe's story, Rose's story, all these new characters' story is incomplete because you filled it with characters who we've already seen, already had their day in the sun. I didn't really need to see what Luke Skywalker did after Return of the Jedi. I was curious to see what he did, but when you gave me that, I would rather you have not have.
Right. This is the main problem with those Star Wars flicks, is the ruining of the classic characters. Don't have them. The expanded universe of Star Wars talked about what Luke did afterwards with like Mara Jade and Jason Solo and all these other characters. I never read any of those books. But keep that. I would have started The Force Awakens with like a Luke Skywalker statue and a few Jedi people or somebody praying to them saying, wow, it's like this marks the 30th anniversary of the death of Luke Skywalker. You know what I mean? Or something. And then just have it brand new. Or you're going to have Luke or Han and Leia have a baby, and then that baby does something like, or do it that way. Geek Studios, what's going on? I think JJ, I don't like the Lost TV show either. It felt like it was going nowhere, and ultimately I think it did go nowhere in the storyline. They kept introducing mystery box elements, but I don't think it went anywhere. Someone can tell me in the comments if you feel that it concluded properly, because I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it, so I can't comment.
Oh, jeez. Cloverfield. I saw Cloverfield in the theater, and I literally threw up in my popcorn. Okay, I didn't throw up in my popcorn because I finished it, and then I would have thrown. But anyways,
eating your own thrown up.
I watched that movie, and there's no monster. They're literally telling you, "Come watch this giant monster movie." And then you sit down, you get your popcorn, and I buy a large popcorn. I'm like a 6 foot tall guy. I was like 300 pounds at that time, and I had a large popcorn in my friggin' belly and the large drink. And I'm like, "Here we go, man!" And then the monster's not in the movie. I thought. And then it felt like the acting was so great that I'm like, the monster wasn't in it, but this was such a compelling story, and the characters were so amazing that I didn't need the monster. No, it's Godzilla versus Kong monster, like human action, but the humans suck and they didn't do anything. There's no action. I'm like sitting there, I was like, where's the monster? Don't like it.
I almost walked out of the show when I saw it.
Constantine, no. I'm not excited for anything that he does with anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not, you're right. No.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Well, the Justice League thing, they were in a bind, right?
Yeah.
That was just an anomaly. That was a very poor. That was a bad situation.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for Zack Snyder, even though I don't really particularly like his vision. But that was just really not. That whole thing was sad. That whole thing was really sad.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Like, okay. I think if he's literally just pointing if he's just directing the camera, and the movies look nice, like the cinematography, like his cinematographer is good. He can craft the movie together, but his problem is he doesn't understand space travel because people just show up, and it's like that's not how that works. It's like, did they travel? Like, it's like everyone has like instantaneous like light speed or whatever, hyperspace, and it's like they're immediately there, and like it's just weird. But yeah, he can't craft the story. That's my problem.
I'll give JJ a compliment. I'll give him one compliment.
Please. Yes, go ahead. What's your compliment?
He can shoot action.
Yeah, I could see the action very clearly.
Yeah.
I can tell what's going on.
Yeah.
I think JJ's best creation, correct me if I'm wrong, was Finn. I thought Finn was very, very good. And then he went Absolutely nowhere. And ladies and gentlemen, finally, Sean has come back to the danger room. What's going on, Sean? Woo! Okay, we're gonna talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier, and there's gonna be some people pissed right off at me. I'm gonna check my subscribers. If they're going down, I'm gonna be really upset. I lost a few the other day because I was on Truth's stream talking about how great Wonder Woman 84 was, and literally the numbers like I'll never.
I'm sure Truth loves that. It's like, oh, there's gonna be some color in this freaking.
Oh, dude, I have to fight everybody. That's okay. I like
good. J-Man's here talking about Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, I love it. Everyone wants to fight me on it.
Who cares about 8 people have the same reaction to something? I hate that. That's the reason why I hated Collider. It's like Collider was the worst because like everyone had the same impression on the same thing. It's like, well, I want someone to say this sucks when everyone else says is great, you know?
Yeah.
Collider, and not just because.
What's the other guys at John Campia or whatever? That's all getting too. That's like fans.
Campia's always been
fan service man or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's the problem you had for 2 seasons of Lost was okay went downhill.
I agree. I think that's what people were saying.
The first season of Lost was okay, but the problem with that was I read an interview with the writers saying they didn't know where they were going with it, so I quit. Yeah. I'm not gonna
exactly.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go along for this aimless joyride. Like BS.
Yeah, Finn was a great character. Did nothing with that character. He had the most
Finn
potential.
had potential.
Yeah,
to be a great character.
To be a great character, right away. He was not copied off of anybody. Right.
Being the leader of a revolution was a great idea. They didn't use it. And being the leader of a revolution of people breaking out of their programming. Yeah, that's great too, and they didn't use it.
They didn't use that.
So yeah.
Like Finn joining up with those people at the end, they could have made that into a movie.
I think that
What
people
the hell?
claim that the Rise of Skywalker is J.J. Abrams cramming in all the things he wanted to do with the second movie and the third movie.
It does seem that.
And the thing is, you can't fit it all in. So
I know.
Yeah.
So I'm not faulting him for Rise of Skywalker. As you guys know, I know you can talk about what was ruined and whatnot in Rise of Skywalker. They're trying, but it's too little, too late. You guys messed this up. You destroyed 2 characters that were classic characters that people loved. You never got to see Han, Luke, Leia together in a scene. Where's the camaraderie?
Well, they ruined Finn. Like, the classic characters are ruined, but the characters they wanted to that were supposed to be the bedrock of Star Wars going forward, they ruined.
Them
it's like she's a Palpatine. Well, I don't care about this character anymore.
Right? Why would
Finn doesn't do anything. I don't care about him. Poe was cool in the comics, and then in the comics between the first and second movies, he was cool. They canceled that comic. Shortly after Last Jedi, and then Last Jedi they made him like a whiny man child, and who hates women leaders. It's like, where's this coming from? He's been led by Leia for like freaking years and years.
Yeah, but they also brought Holdo in. It's like, who are you? Like, why are you bossing around Poe, who was from the last movie?
Well, why would there be someone who outranks Leia? It doesn't make any sense.
That makes zero sense.
Where was she in Star Wars, like the original?
She was Kathleen Kennedy. That's how
we know that. That's Claire dug their own grave. They did. Ryan, hey, Ryan, what's going on? So I met Ryan last night, right? So Steve, I was on Truth's live stream. I invaded and then was spreading Wonder Woman gospel, and and then after this is what I do. I go around spreading Wonder Woman 84 gospel. So I went to the Truth and told the truth and told everybody that 84 is the best. And then our buddy from Israel called us.
Yeah.
So, and then Steve and I was like, I had to quickly go, and I was just explaining the plot of Godzilla vs. Kong. And then I had to go. So after we chatted, we chatted for like 90 minutes. I came back, they're still going. So I was like, well, shit, I'm coming back in because there's new people who weren't in there before. I'm like, well, they must hear the word. So Ryan has been converted. Maybe.
All I gotta say is that J-Man is single-handedly trying to turn the tide of critical opinion on Wonder Woman 1980.
It's happening. Keep your eye on Rotten Tomatoes. You'll see my effect continuously grow.
Finn should become a Jedi.
Finn should have done something. And then
I'm cool for like Finn being force sensitive but not a Jedi. It's like he just does his own thing, perhaps, or I'm sick of Jedi. I know some people aren't, but like after the prequels, I was sick of Jedi.
I think John Boyega is like, I'm done. They did him dirty. Let's face the friggin' facts.
Oh yeah, he said he didn't want to do a Disney Plus show because he's like, forget it. Like I just want to do my own thing now.
Yeah,
look, Finn,
go ahead, Steve.
I would love to see Finn come back. I would love to see all of the characters come back done right. Going back to the previous comment about JJ, I think it was Arkham Gaming said, concern is that JJ does one film and then another director does another film and JJ does the third film for Superman. Gotta be honest with you, I'm worried about the first film. I'm not even thinking of 2 and 3.
Yeah, like Force Awakens was not great. What do we got here? Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people. So I didn't watch the Clone Wars. I know the two.
Clone Wars is awesome. That's what they should have done with the sequel era is like some sort of thing that boosts that that because like the thing is I don't like Anakin in the movies, but I like him in Clone Wars. So like you can have a show enhance Rey, Finn, and Poe.
Yes.
But I don't think they're going to do that. That Resistance show was pretty boring. I'm trying to get.
I have it.
But the thing is, Resistance was made for kids, and it's boring as hell. And it should be energetic and exciting, and something happens every minute or something. Because if it's for kids, but it's
have bad attention span.
It's really it's I mean, compared to Rebels and Clone Wars, it's fairly slow. I found.
Captain Phasma kind of went nowhere too.
Cole and Captain Phasma.
Yeah, like Phasma was utterly useless beyond anything. Like
Poe and Phasma are in it. Yeah.
Okay, so there's that.
I still respect your opinion.
A little bit converted. A little bit.
I'm worried about JJ handling DC.
I'm worried about JJ handling. Yeah, like
I'm not just worried about that. Like WB is always and generationally and for decades now has shown that they don't think about anything sensibly. Everything is pie charts and yeah, I know it's a big revelation, Jim, but everything is like corporate thinking, trends, pie charts, things like that, combined with J.J. Abrams and going into Superman. Oh my God. Like it sounds like a recipe for a disaster, right? But anyway, we'll see. It'll be fun. I don't know.
Sean, this is a revelation.
Yeah, I didn't think about it.
I didn't think. Steve, did you think that at 7:48 Eastern Standard Time here in Toronto, Canada, that there'd be a revelation that Warner Bros. Doesn't know what the hell they're doing?
Until he mentioned it, I thought there was a plan in place.
I just feared of Nostradamus, probably.
Now we know. They don't have
the book of Sean or whatever.
Sean Stradamus.
Clone
Wars is more of a dark kid show.
Yeah, Clone Wars. Everyone likes. I bought it all. I had the animation. Was the animation a little weird? Was that blocky kind of animation?
Yeah, it's cell shaded, I think.
Oh yes.
And people got mad at that, but it's cell shaded. It's different, right? It's fine. It's not like it doesn't. It's not as detailed as the other cartoons.
Interesting. That's a really good question. That's a very good question. Because you don't want, as I said before, you don't want unfettered listening because then you end up with Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Right.
So
yes, that's a good point. That's a disaster movie. That's actually a disastrous movie. We were in shock at how disastrous that movie was. I still kind of like it because it's so disastrous.
It's camp. But
it's become camp, but it wasn't supposed to be, though. That's the problem.
So this is what I would offer. You have to listen to the fans because those are your consumers. But your fans don't write the screenplay. They don't film the movie. So take their suggestions in account, but still approach it from a filmmaker's lens. Because if you're just going to let the fans dictate, it's the same as, and I'm going to make a sort of analogy, it's sort of like baseball, right? You want to make moves to make your team better, but the baseball fans don't run the team. They don't know the ins and outs. It's the same with movies. So, maybe for instance, if we want to put in like Solomon Grundy, maybe the CGI budget doesn't account for Solomon Grundy. It'd be great to have him in a Superman movie, him fighting Superman at the beginning, but maybe it's just not available. But listen to the fans to the extent that listen to your consumer. That's economics 101, right? And in today's day and age, with the internet and like real-time feedback, there's no excuse for any studio to ignore the fans, because they're getting things that the old school guys never got. They had to go through piles of letters to read to get the fans things.
It's all art though. That's the thing. Like, it's like fans wanted Venom in a Spider-Man movie. Sam Raimi didn't, because he didn't understand the character. And Sam Raimi is the one tasked with making a Spider-Man movie. So they said, shove Venom in your Spider-Man movie. And we got Spider-Man 3, for better, for worse, however you feel about that. It's like, I would say no, but it's very flexible. I mean, just use common freaking sense. It's like, do people want to see Luke Skywalker die like an asshole and be a grump? Probably not. So I don't know what you're doing, right? If you have an artistic vision that you can back up with solid points and there's a reason why you're doing what you're doing, then sure. I think it all comes down to the studio. Some studios don't know how to think artistically, and some do.
I was just going to say that. Yeah,
it's like Warner Brothers clearly can't. Right? And the thing is, it's funny because then they start throwing people under the bus. It's like,
of course,
all this stuff about like they weren't on board with Zack Snyder's vision. It's like he had to pitch them his vision for their franchise of films, and they had to sign off on it. Then later they're like, well, I don't know if we want to, it's like, that's why I always feel Kathleen Kennedy is a great film producer, but not a great like studio head. And, she keeps hiring and firing people that she signed off on. It's like she must have signed off on Miller and Lawrence version of Solo. And then partway through production said, oh, I don't like this. It's like, well, that's terrible, So it's all art, it's all subjective. I'd say get a general sense from the audience. But if you know that you're upending apple carts, let's kill Lois Lane or something stupid like that, then I would be very careful about that. And you'd have to have a solid reason why you're doing that.
Yeah, but they don't know themselves. This is the problem. Yeah, like it's at the point where, as you said,
too much about the money, and they're nervous about everything.
They don't know.
And you can see it. You can see it's like, let's do something opposite of Marvel. Well, I guess that kind of makes sense. The problem is, opposite of Marvel, I guess to you guys, is everyone's an asshole and a grump. It's like, and then they're appealing to some people, but not appealing to the masses. And you want $1 billion. It's like, think about what you're doing first, right?
Yeah. Right. And the thing is, they signed off on Zack Snyder's vision, and they're giving him money. Like, Zack Snyder didn't create this movie in a vacuum where nobody saw anything.
I don't fully blame him. It's really the studio.
Of course it's the studio.
And listen, if that's your boy, if you signed off on it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you signed off on it, then back him up. Right? It's like, release the 3-hour Batman versus Superman. See what people say there.
See what people think.
And it'll just be worse than what you were reacting to, right? And listen, honestly, they should have put a bit more reins. If Justice League was going to be 4 hours to tell all the things they wanted, they should have gone into a meeting room and said, okay, how do we alleviate the runtime of this thing? Right. Should we put out a movie that explains some of this other stuff? Put out a Cyborg movie first. Right. If Cyborg is an hour and a half of your movie, make a Cyborg movie, then make Justice League.
Exactly.
Be smart. I have a lot of problems with Zack Snyder's viewpoint on the characters and everything. But my blame is squarely on Warner Brothers.
Of course.
Lead the thing.
Yeah.
It's your money. What's the problem?
Dude, there's enough Cyborg stuff. You could easily do a 90-minute movie.
Yeah.
Just Cyborg. There's so much. Cyborg is like the main point of that entire movie.
Yeah.
We can easily do a quick Cyborg movie, and it doesn't cost you anything extra because there's so much footage already shot with that guy that you like. It's like, what's it going to cost you? A little bit more to make it like 20 minutes. You add 20 minutes to Cyborg scenes, and you can get yourself a movie. Like, why? Yeah, they're like, oh, it's going to be 4 hours. We can't do that. We better cut it in half. Yeah, but now it doesn't make any sense. And then Zack Snyder's daughter, that thing happens. And it's just it's a disaster. And Warner Bros. Doesn't know what to do. And then it comes out, and nobody likes it. And then we wait forever, and then we get Zack Snyder's version. It's like, yeah, but now it's too long. It's been too long. It's like people have moved on from it. The fans that want to see it, they watched it, they'll support it. And then now what are you going to do? Well, now they've already moved on with other productions. They're like, well, now we have to go to Flash and we have to try to reboot things. It's like, guys,
you have to introduce Flash. They had to introduce Aquaman at the time.
Right.
It's like it's nuts. At the time, they had a lot of footage of the Aquaman movie ready because they showed it at they showed Orm and his army and everything at I think it was the Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. So I mean, the other thing too was Warner Brothers was just not patient. Marvel built from 2008 to 2012 their franchise. In 2012, they released Avengers. It was $1 billion, and they're like, we want that now. It's like, well, right. Marvel didn't do it that way. What the hell are you doing, right? You want, like, they made Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Wonder Woman, and then Justice League. By the time Justice League came out, people were tired, and it's like, we don't know what your vision is here, so yeah. Anyways, Warner Brothers.
Bad Batch looks cool. Let's get through some of these. This is breaking news. No, it's not. Terminator films. Oh, I can tell you right now. Terminator 1 is 10 out of 10. Terminator 2 is 10 out of 10. Terminator 3 is like 8 out of 10. And then the rest. Yeah, I like Terminator 3.
And the rest are cash grabs.
And the rest are
worse and worse and worse.
And then Dark Fate is one of the worst film experiences, except for our Canadian girl Mackenzie. Our Canadian girl. Everything else in that movie is utter embarrassing garbage. Like embarrassing. Sarah Connor Chronicles. That wasn't a bad TV show. That was okay. Good. I like Lena Headey. I like Lena Headey as Sarah Connor. I thought she was pretty badass. Ryan, Medium Specific Studios should listen. Yeah, they should. They're getting the feedback.
Yeah.
We're going good. Be zombies. Well, hey, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I want that to happen now.
Okay, truth. I've never legitimately laughed on. I'm sorry, hold on. I've legitimately not actually laughed on a live stream or a YouTube video since I started YouTube. That's the first. Oh my god! I didn't even read the rest of the comment. Oh fuck, that's good. They have to make this movie. They absolutely have to make it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Malcolm X will have like robotic arms or something and like blow the shit out of people, and they should just call it X with like a spray paint or it.
And Kali Muscle will play Malcolm X.
God. Oh my god,
you just won the internet, man. That was the best comment. Subscribe to the truth right now. That was the best comment of all time. They need to make this movie, dude. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. They need to make
one, man.
They need to make this. I swear to God, I will go 3 times in the theater. Great. Right. They definitely are too reactionary. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad was a disastrous shit show of a movie. Yeah. That's probably the worst. Is that the worst DCU movie? Probably. Yeah. Maybe.
If between that
Batman, the original Batman vs Superman is pretty god awful too.
I don't know. My controversial pick is Batman versus Superman, but
Batman versus Superman, the original one
I've watched it many times, as you know.
I know you've watched it a lot.
It's because I can't believe they made there's a jar of piss in that movie. Like what the? Anyway,
John, don't try and pretend you bought toys for the movie, man.
I did buy the toys.
Yeah, you bought the Batcave and
I have
stuff.
2 Batcaves from that movie.
What's so funny? No, what's so funny is is Michael Bay directing a Malcolm X movie. But it's not funny anymore. It's happening. It's happening. I'm doing it. I would literally produce that myself if I had money to do it. Oh my god. Maybe Andrew may have missed it when I was laughing, and just because we went by it pretty quickly. Okay,
so are we talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yeah, let's do Ultimate Edition. Yeah, well, they just released that 4K cleaned up. Apparently, that did very well. So
there's a 4K of
4K of
Ultimate
of Batman versus Superman, the Ultimate cut. So it's the full edition.
Yeah,
and it looks really nice. I haven't seen it. If that comes out, I will get it. The second page of the animation. That's all great stuff.
They've needed to do that since 1995, but they I don't
really. The Ultimate Edition, I believe that is the 4K.
Yeah, no, to me that's Batman vs Superman. Zack Snyder's Justice League is Justice League, and to me, there's no real reason why it wouldn't.
Yeah, 4K version sold out in a few hours. Yeah, I mean, it'll come back. They need their money.
It's Warner Brothers, yeah.
Yeah, they'll put it back. Okay, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Now, I haven't talked to you guys about it since we watched it. What are your thoughts on? Should we talk about the elephant in the room or the shield in the hand? Or
I haven't even talked about 3 yet.
Okay, because you guys. All right, so okay, can we? I'm sorry, we did this last time, but I still don't get it. Can somebody explain to me what the Flag Smashers want? Because it's very important to my opinion.
So, what I've understood, and I have an opinion on this too.
Just tell me what you think it is first before your opinion.
All right. So they were sort of displaced because they took over homes and had people who got blipped. When those people came back, they repossessed their homes and their things, and people were displaced. So these guys are basically revolutionaries to sort of, and that's where I'm stuck.
Yeah, my problem with episodes 3 and 4 is I'm on the verge of saying I don't like this show, because the thing is 1 and 2 were awesome. Look, it's not like I want like mega action and stuff all the time, but
I do.
Well, right, but see, episodes 3 and 4 are just them walking around. Like, what the hell? Like, this is the story they came up with for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and this is exactly what I was afraid of with this show. WandaVision is a high concept thing, and it was a mystery, so it kept you guessing, and it was entertaining that way. Right. Here, it's like we gotta find these guys that the audience cuts to every now and again, so they know everything about her, but we don't. So let's walk around for 40 minutes and come up with snippets of things and blah, 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 and then do it again in this episode. Like, it seems aimless to me. And the problem too, J-Man, is you're right. I don't understand what the stakes are. Do they have a doomsday weapon or something to make to put everything back to the Thanos levels of population? Or are they just a dumbass terrorist group with a whiny ass manifesto?
Right.
It's like, if that's the case, and I don't care about these villains. Number one, number two, Falcon and Winter Soldier are treating them with kid gloves for no reason, and they're not explaining it. So
you're right.
It's like Baron Zemo is like, well, like she's not who you think she is and stuff. Okay, that's one thing, but logically, why would their plan be for Falcon to walk in there and talk her out of it? She's killed people. She has a following. She has a whole movement. Or what is the end game of that scene? Is Falcon going to walk in there and be well, this is wrong. And she's going to be like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to abandon my entire following.
Right.
I'm going to forget that I killed anybody over this. Right. And my whole attitude and philosophy has changed now. Was that the game plan, it makes no sense. And you're painting. Now I get the ending paints U.S. Agent as a villain and stuff. But before that, his thing is, let's go in and arrest her. Because of course that's your reaction to someone who's killed people, has a following, has potential for more violence. She's right there, arrest her.
Right.
So he's like, let's go. And he's like, no, I'm going to calm her down. So he comes in and the writing makes him a villain because the writing says he comes in and even though Winter Soldier has mega powers, Falcon is a superhero. Right. All of them get flustered by this one girl who does a thing and runs away. And so it's now U.S. agents fault that she got away because he went in there like gangbusters. But bar all of that, his idea to go in and arrest her is right. Of course it's right.
I know.
Of course it's right.
Of course it's right.
And you know, here's the other thing too. At the end, so he kills the guy with the shield. And she's all like, oh no, yeah. You killed people. You just killed a man. And you're shocked when you have one casualty.
Right.
You want me to sympathize with this character? I can't do that.
I can't do it.
I can't do that. I'm a normal human being adult. I can't do that.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Look, to me, I'm like, John Walker's the best character in this show.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta get stuff done. It's like, okay, she's blowing up people. She doesn't give a crap about you. Falcon was gonna walk in there and in a 10-minute conversation, he was gonna convince her to give it all up and become an average citizen and work at McDonald's. Like, what the hell?
Why would she do that?
Why would she do that?
She has the super soldier serum in her.
She has super soldier, exactly. And then John Walker's like, look, we got to arrest this chick. She's bonkers, right? Oh, no, don't go in there. It's like, why is he the bad guy? And then she killed Battlestar. I'm like, screw you.
But the writing makes him a bumbling bad guy.
Right,
like, oh, my gangbuster decisions, mess things up. But I don't know. It's the right decision to make.
Yeah. Like it's like you killed a bunch of innocent people. You're a terrorist. You don't care. You stole the super soldier serum. It's like you will do anything it takes to get rid of people. It's like you just killed Battlestar. It's like, who's his best friend? The scene before that was so important, right? Like where it's like they're literally like, he's like, look, man, I'm trying to do good. I'm trying to be a good Captain America.
At some point in this episode, I knew he was gonna die. It just seemed there's that old school like action movie thing. It's like like 2 days to retirement or that kind of thing. I'm pretty sure he's gonna. I got death sense here. I'm pretty sure he's gonna die by the end of the
There's a lot of chat to catch up on, but we're taking a moment of silence. For my buddy.
I couldn't even get to that costume.
Oh my god!
At least like a muted version or something.
Even that. Like
that would have been cool,
right? Yeah. Come on, dude. Like you killed Battlestar.
I like that. Everyone talks about that line where he's like, "It's her loss. I have a whole insignia that I worked out for the signature, like the Battlestar signature."
The Battlestar, yeah, exactly. He does a little star for it. Yeah. They are right. I mean, like to me, it's like to me, the Flag Smashers are clearly bad guys.
Yeah,
like they are bad guys. Falcon, Winter Soldier, whatever, and John Walker and them are good guys. John Walker is rougher because he's a soldier. He's like, we have to take this person down. This is what I'm
watching the show.
That was probably after Sean's 5 minutes.
Sorry. Yeah.
After his diatribe.
Bad choice for villains.
Agreed.
Sounds stupid.
Yeah, that's my other problem too. When I heard this is 6 episodes, I was like, perfect. Because the problem with the Netflix series was that they were way too long and they're stretching out stories. But after having seen the last 2 episodes, Carly Morgenthau is not a strong enough villain or threat, and the stakes not high enough to pin a 6-episode story on. What should have happened is they capture her in the last episode, and it leads to something bigger and more ethical questions. Get the story going. You know, instead of them walking around the same 2 sets Sorry, one more thing, Steven, and then I'll stop. But the whole thing, where are they? They're in like Latvia or something like that, right?
Latvia, yeah.
And not Latveria, but they're in Latvia, and they're in the same 2 streets. It seems it's like it seems so low budget to me. It's like that square was seen 8 times or something. It seems very low budget. Like they ran out of budget after the last 2. The first 2 episodes had that truck thing and the flying sequence, and they're like, okay, that's it. They have to walk around now in the same 2 streets in Latvia.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
Like
anyway, go on, Steve. Sorry.
Okay, Steve.
No, it's okay. So here's the thing. Marvel consistently cannot write gray situations. Okay? They can't. They couldn't do it in Civil War, where you're supposed to see both sides. They can't do it here. Because I feel they're trying to like make the Flag Smashers sympathetic. Yeah, it's not working. Like even Falcon in that 10-minute conversation proved to her that she was being a hypocrite. And she's like, "Oh, you tricked me to save it." Like this is like trying. Yeah. This is like going to Adolf Hitler and saying, rethink your plan, and Hitler being like, "Oh, okay." Like. It's not going to happen. She's killed people. I don't know what more you need to do to take her down. You've already had a fight with her on a flipping truck where she kicked the crap out of you. She's not changing her ways. So take her down. And Falcon's like, no, I want to talk to her.
To do what?
What is this going to accomplish? You know, they added I'm going to screw up the name, Dora
Milaje.
Milaje.
Yeah.
What do they want?
I don't really know why.
They want. Well, that's the other thing. Like, I think the writing is just
show?
out to lunch, because what they want is they want Baron Zemo. What they did was fight everyone, and while Baron Zemo left.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, okay. So, Steve, finish your point, and then we're gonna discuss what the Wakandans are doing.
Okay, yeah.
They fight. You're right, Sean. They fight her, but like they're going to they stopped them from. They were going to kill Walker and Battlestar, I believe, because those were the 2.
Yeah, they're trying to.
And I'm like, Walker put his hand on your shoulder. Now I know you didn't want him to do that, but is that really the
manufactured fight?
Like,
why the writing's just shit. I don't know what happened with this show.
Just dropped.
It's heavy. Really bad. I don't care about I want the Flag Smashers. I want what happens in Invincible to some of those characters to happen to the Flag Smashers, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like I can't. And now the next episode's going to be all about how John Walker's a bastard and
Yeah.
And Wyatt Russell got death threats on Twitter because people can't separate, fact from fiction.
Well, I don't care about that. The actors are there to do what they're paid to do.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Sometimes I question like the age range of these people. Like who's coming to the conclusion that he's a bad guy because he played one on TV? Like, I don't understand.
David Tennant.
I sure don't know what actors are. Anyway.
Yeah, David Tennant played a character called Dennis something. He's a real life serial killer, and that's It's a 3-part miniseries. I strongly suggest anybody watching it. If you're a fan of David Tennant, he's a fantastic actor.
Dennis Nielsen.
Yes, Dennis Nielsen. It's very disturbing. And literally people were posting stuff for David Tennant, and they're like, oh, he's playing this killer and all that. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, he's just he's an actor. Anthony, what's going on?
Anthony.
Yeah, hello.
You're glad you're not watching it? Well, watch the first 2 episodes. That was killer.
Black Panther.
I mean, Black Panther fortunately passed away, so he couldn't be filmed. I mean, it just, the show is all right. Like, I have no problem. It's just like, okay. Yeah. I get the story that she just came.
You're in and out, Anthony.
6 months after, huh?
You cut out for a second.
Oh, you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, okay, I was about internet, of course, internet issues. Damn, it's raining here in New York, so probably. Like I guess the show takes place 6 months after they trying to come back from the real war, and they villains because they've been snapped away, the Flash maskers, whatever the name is, and they're just trying to be villains, of course. Truth, I don't. You have the worst internet ever, Truth. I don't want to hear it. Yo, it's true.
I didn't highlight that comment, so don't worry. I saw that. I was like, yes, they did bully the she's a cute kid, and they bullied her too for some unknown reason. I liked that kid. She was good.
The Flag Smashers. Yeah,
anyway,
like they were just they're trying to make some sort of relevancy out of that situation. Like it's almost like a political situation, and so it doesn't matter because so if you have the snap happen, you maybe you don't think that those people are they care.
Yeah, true.
Maybe you don't realize that you've moved into someone's home, but if they come back and they're like, I'm back.
Yeah, give it up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give it up.
Because they have to rebuild. I just came back from the snap. You expect everything to be good. Like I get why they pissed and want to help society with. I think that's what they're trying to do. Help society, bring to go to each whatever country. I think countries, whatever they're gonna go. It's not like that. So they pissed because they probably came back to life, and it's hard to say.
Yeah,
but they're not sympathetic. Like I don't care. It's like they're saying that Thanos was right, basically. Like the Flag Smashers, Thanos was right.
I don't know if they're saying that Thanos was right or that their lives were better when the snap happened, and then now they're like it's not as good as it used to be. So they want it's like they got more benefits and stuff. When they got like a free house out of it and stuff like that back in those days. But that's selfishness.
But the end goal is then to kill half the population, bring it back prior to the snap.
Yeah, facts. That's what Infinity War Endgame did. Like Thanos killed half of the population.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know.
And live his life.
What are they? Is that what they want to do?
Actually, I don't know that's because they haven't made that clear. It's like all they're saying is that they got better things when there's half the population. Now they don't. And I don't know what they want anymore. Like, I don't know what they want anyone to do about that.
No, what I'm saying is that if that's what they're saying, the only way to get it back is to kill half the population.
Right.
Like, they haven't made it clear. You're right. I'm not quite. They're walking around with 20 vials of super soldier serum for some reason.
And I wonder who built the serum. We saw the last episode, the guy who built it. But then, the Thunder Ross, whatever his name, I forgot his name. I think that's his name is. He's gonna show up in Black Widow. He's gonna build a new team. So how you get the super soldier thing? I don't know. Well, I know the guy built it, but come on, he only make a few of them. I don't know. I think they Zemo broke half of it in this episode. John Walker took it, and the Falcon noticed it. He probably gonna tell the military that he took it, but
or maybe not.
Or maybe not. Yeah, and he kills Battlestar with Hallelujah. He was annoying as character, annoying. And he was so annoying. I hated him. And then he just went beast mode. He just kills. He just stopped. He just beat him up to death.
Yeah.
And everybody's recording it. Everybody's surprised. He telling me if my best friend died, we was in the military together. We became both a soldier. You telling me that I'm not gonna kill the person that killed him? Come on.
He went crazy. And you know what's funny too? That there's no forgiveness for John Walker, even though he's trying to be a good person. they're like, oh, John Walker's about. Everyone's hating him. Loki killed tons of people, and now he's an anti-hero and people love him. And Loki was a complete bastard who literally murdered people, and now everyone loves him. And like, we can't wait for Loki to come back. It's like, okay, they love Thanos, right? It's like John Walker killed one person, and Sean, you said this too, and I thought this right away. It's like Carly has killed tons of people, and everyone's like, yeah, well, she's fighting for revolution. Okay, well, John Walker's fighting for his friend. And he went crazy.
Yeah, it's all anyone sees on those phones and stuff. It is.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well,
the thing is, he killed an unarmed man, right? With a symbol that they love, and so it's like they tried to make it as bad as possible. Right? Yeah.
The time to tell him to like in the comics. I hope he gets red. His red and I forgot. It was red in the comics.
It's red and black and stuff.
Red and black. I hope he gets that suit. If they don't.
Let me just say, it's ironic that there's a comment, why does nobody criticize the inconsistency of continuity in the MCU? And then we didn't talk about it. So let me. No,
I was going to come back to it.
I understand continuity. I understand it. So
well, the thing is, it is a double standard because everyone complains about the DC continuity, and the reason why is because people like MCU movies and they don't like the people that criticize DCU movies just don't like the DCU movies. Right?
That's true,
and that's human nature. I always say this. Continuity. There's probably continuity in story. I always go back to the continuity of the snap because it makes no sense that they're fighting in the daytime in Africa. And meanwhile, in the daytime in New York,
right?
What's his name?
That was a big mistake.
Yeah, Nick Fury and what's her face get dusted. It's like okay, and also Kobe Smulders is like, oh, there's spaceships over Wakanda, and then like a minute later they get dusted. It's like, well, you just saw that there's spaceships over Wakanda. It's like that battle lasted like 40 minutes of movie time.
Yeah,
and in the daytime, Hawkeye's family gets dusted, presumably at the same time as it happened in Africa. But Africa has a completely different time zone. So, yeah.
But what about...
But no one says anything because they love those movies. So.
Well, what about Endgame? If he kills Stark now. And
Captain America kills in World War One and the second Captain America movie. And he kills a lot of people. It's like I don't get what people is mad.
Well, it's World War One.
In Endgame,
I mean, I understand that too.
In Endgame, right? They're going to get the Rocket goes to get the red whatever out of Natalie Portman's character.
I don't remember what. Anyways,
So Rocket's going to go. He's got a syringe. He's going to take
right. He's going to get that.
Right. He's going to take that while Thor's talking to his mom. Right. If you go back and watch Thor: Dark World, which no one does,
garbage movie.
Oh yeah, nobody watched that.
Garbage. That shit should be at the bottom of Marvel movies.
No, but if you go back and Natalie Portman's character repelled people when she had it in her.
Right. So how did he get close?
So how did Rocket get close?
So how the hell did Rocket get near with a syringe?
Yeah, he's super weak. Oh yeah, that shield is vibranium. You get hit with
but they're not on camera. So it's like,
that was a very important thing that we learned in film school. If it's not on camera, it's one of those weird.
Well, you can get into the uncomfortable discussion.
Pretty much.
Well,
there's an uncomfortable discussion of police violence that people, people like the ones that create movements and the ones that like people get really really incensed by are the ones on camera. And you hear about others. But they don't generate the movements that the ones on camera do.
Right.
So
and that's understandable.
Maybe if they're smart, they'll do something with that.
They're not going to do that.
Out of this episode, I don't know. But,
I don't think so. They're soft. I know. John Walker. It's supposed to be this big shocking thing. I'm like, well, I mean, what do you want?
That's shocking. He just broke. Like, this is the reason why MC fans are a piece of crap. They don't want to read comics. You understand the damn thing, and then you'll be happy. Literally, the girl just killed his best friend.
I know.
Battlestar. And you telling me, oh yeah, I'm not gonna kill my best friend, the girl killed him. But the guy that he just killed, I will kill him too. Like, come on, man, common sense.
And I felt bad that John Walker went that far. Like for me, this was the character moment. Like it's like he went too far, and now everyone caught it on tape. So now the next episode is going to be, oh, he's a killer, and this is terrible. And I'm like, oh, I can already.
The news be like breaking news: John Walker's a killer.
Killer, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. What about breaking news? Carly's a killer as well, and it's like, where's that breaking news?
There's only like 2 episodes left. I mean, I hope next episode's an hour long. Hour long with credits, of course.
Yeah.
Like, I do call out that crap. I don't look. I don't like JJ, but we do not make fun of his name. I make fun of his name in private. I don't make fun of
JJ's trash, but
that's like I don't reject that in, man. That's fine. Yeah, I do not do it on any live streams, and I don't do it in any YouTube videos. I do not call him by the funny name.
Yeah, we try not to be childish about it
because I'm not a kid. It's like, look, I'm going to tell you if the movie is garbage, I'm going to say I don't like this. And if people are getting death threats in real life, I don't care who you are. Not even Kathleen Kennedy. Nobody. People. Like, guys, we're in North America. Let's say North America because
we live in a society where people just like doing the death threats to the actors.
Yeah, it's like
what is the point of that? You don't get to do that. It's like people do with Zack Snyder's daughter. Like, oh yeah, Zack, thank God your daughter passed away.
That's terrible.
Like,
that's awful.
Come on, bro, you don't do that. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, that's awful.
No, that's crossing a line because, like, listen, I may not want J.J. Abrams to direct any more movies, but I don't want him to die. Like, I don't want anything to happen to him. Like,
he could stub his toe, maybe.
I disagree with his disagree with his artistic
hangnail.
I disagree with his artistic choices, but I don't want the man dead because of it.
Yeah. Right.
Even though
I do call it hypocrisy.
Like, don't send death threats.
No.
Yeah, I don't see Sean. Yeah. Well, I guess the three of us, Steve as well. Like Sean, Steve, and I, we grew up in a time where we didn't really get too much into what's better. We just kind of liked what we liked, and it's like I read. Yeah, we liked what we liked. I like Superman. I like Spider-Man. I never. Yeah. And I mean, nobody knows the Mego toys, but there's these old dolls of these superheroes, and they were interchangeable with each other. Like the same company produced Spider-Man and Superman. So they looked like the same toy. So you could interact with them. Like I would have Superman and Batman team up and I'd have Spider-Man join in. And this reinforced the idea that all of the superheroes were cool. It's only later on that you start to get like, well, oh wait, Spider-Man can't team up with Superman really. And it's like, oh, okay. And some people, maybe 10 years ago when Marvel changed it all fine, but let's say 15 years ago, I knew a guy who asked me, he's like, Jay, he goes, when I was a kid, I loved Spider-Man and Super Friends. He goes, how come Spider-Man wasn't on Super Friends? We're not talking about like 30 years ago. He asked me like this, like 15 years ago. I was like, no, dude, I was like, they're different companies. Like, oh, really? And it's like, because he's like, he's an old man who doesn't care. He's like, or he's an older guy. He's like, as a kid, I used to watch these. So he didn't think about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Holland kills Super. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of stuff here and there. Exactly. Dark people. Yep. Agreed. Yep. Exactly. Yep. Caleb.
Yeah.
No, exactly. There doesn't need to be. There's only a war because it's perceived in your mind because it's
right now there's more awareness of the comic companies and stuff too, right? And like who's doing better or worse perceivably than each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, and why? Like I judge everything movie to movie. That's how I've always done it. It's like I like this one, I don't like this one, I like this one. Like I don't like Suicide Squad 1, but I'm still gonna watch Suicide Squad 2. So and if I don't like that one, I won't like it. And if they make a Suicide Squad 3, I'm gonna watch Suicide Squad 3. And if I don't like it, I will still watch Suicide Squad 4.
Just call it hot garbage, pretty much.
I mean, it is what it is. I watched Listen, I saw Birds of Prey in the theater. Did you come with me, Steve?
Yeah, I did.
Birds of Prey. That was the last time I was in the movie theaters. But Birds of Prey, I was like, oh my god, the most garbage movie ever.
Anthony, I hope you make it back because I don't want that to be the last time you went to a theater. That's a horrible way to go out, man. You need to go back again.
Maybe I might see Black Widow in theaters. Maybe
I'll see it.
And maybe James Gunn movie, and that's it probably.
Well, we gotta see No Time to Die. I'd like to see James Bond.
That movie's gonna get delayed next year. I guarantee you.
Yeah,
it's not looking good. It's not. I'm hoping that like Kong versus Godzilla makes enough money at least that
It did. It
making
made
good
like 400 million in the box office.
then I hope that they keep the release schedule up so that we can get these movies that we've been waiting for to at least like clear the decks.
Yeah, true.
So
But like,
Yeah,
the reason
to
why
see that.
Godzilla vs. Kong make 400 million because over there in China and overseas they like Godzilla vs. Kong.
They know the
Yeah.
characters, yeah.
They're
know the
big
characters,
fans. And,
Yeah, they don't care about Tenet like that.
no, Tenet was
August,
garbage.
time
I
travel
like
movie.
Tenet. I like
It's
Tenet.
okay, but
That
as
movie was
something that's gonna bring
confusing,
people back to the
Jay.
theater, like why did anyone
like
think
it.
that?
I've got the 4K right there. I can see it right there.
Oh man, Jay got everything, man. Jay got
Yeah, well,
everything.
You listen. Steven and Sean have a few thousand movies themselves. If
Yeah.
we combined our collections, we'd have like 20,000 movies or so. And
See,
Steve's dad
some of
has
it
at least
here,
2,000.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We probably have 10,000 movies if we combine them.
Damn.
The three of us, right?
Yeah.
Easy.
I
The sickness,
probably
man.
got like
Yeah, we like. I used to buy 10 movies at a time. Like, I would order everything that come out.
There's
You might-
like 400 DVDs I got in my closet.
You have 400 DVDs.
Yeah,
400?
400.
That's good. That's all right.
Because I
You
bought
know?
the box that the MCU was doing, like when Endgame was released, like you have every Marvel movie ever in it. It costs a lot of money. Yeah, I bought that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
got
awesome.
all of that. I just picked up Harley Quinn season 2 of the.
Harley
animated.
Quinn is oh my god, that show is hilarious.
I haven't watched it yet, but I
Hilarious.
got that. And then
Yeah,
what else
Barcy,
did I
don't watch Tenet. It's garbage. It's confusing. It's confusing. I give you this, Jay. It's confusing. When I was watching, I was like, okay, yeah, I don't understand this. I'm out.
I understood what was going on.
Which one, Tenet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I have questions, but we're not gonna occupy this.
Well, Sean and I will talk privately about it. I thought it was really. I've seen it. I saw it once. And I watched a few scenes the second time around just because the scenes were neat.
Yes.
Oh, of course.
Gonna buy maybe tomorrow I'm gonna buy the Harley Quinn DVD show thing. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, like.
Because I love that show.
Daredevil is in my top 5 favorite TV shows of all time, and that's up there with like Star Trek and Doctor Who. So that's and also the Musketeers. I love the Musketeers, the BBC Musketeers, all 3 seasons. I'm a 3 Musketeers fan. As I'm an expert on everything, as everybody knows. I love the Musketeers also. Okay.
If they bring back Daredevil, do it on Hulu because Hulu let you do dark stuff.
Oh, will they let you? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. That's up to Marvel. That's up to Disney and Marvel. Kevin Feige, if you want to put it on Hulu, because if you put it on Disney Plus, it'll be 16 and plus. Like I don't want that.
Yeah, you have to. I don't know what's going on with Disney's Dark or whatever it's called. I have no stars.
Because if you put it on Hulu, it's a darker stuff. Because Hulu is dark. They have a lot of dark shows. It's just like
So in the United States, they won't have the Star thing because we don't have Hulu. So Hulu is only United States, as far as I know.
They don't have Hulu?
No, we don't.
We don't.
So outside of the United States, Disney Plus has this Star brand, and Star is where they put all the Fox stuff and everything.
So Aliens and Predator,
right?
Robocop,
but that's not the case in the States because in the States they'll put all that stuff on like Hulu and the other stuff that they've bought. You know, like a FX channel that's a thing in the States, right? We don't have. I think we have that here, but like no one really.
I don't think anyone uses FX over here.
Yeah.
I think FX is because the last investigator from Disney, they announced a new alien show that's happening, which I don't know whatever that alien show is coming.
Oh, the alien show, yeah.
Did you say FX?
Yeah. Do we have FX in Canada?
I don't.
Yeah, we might.
It's a part of the cable package.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have cable anymore. So,
like over here in the States, we don't have Star. So, like, maybe in the future we will have Star. Who knows if Disney want to
I think we have Stars here because that was Bruce Campbell versus Jeremy or Evil Dead.
But Anthony, are you talking about Star on the Disney Plus?
Yeah, I have Star over there.
And Star is where the Fox stuff is gonna go.
Yeah, we'll have that for sure.
Things are confusing here because like we don't have HBO Max and stuff. So it turns up on other services.
Like 2024 for HBO Max, which that's oh man.
Yeah, Like we had Star Trek Discovery on television here in local affiliates because we don't have
the CBS
Paramount Plus or whatever it's called, Paramount, whatever it is. So
I didn't watch it because it's garbage. But
CBS All Access. That's what
talk about that.
All Access. That's what it. But Zack Snyder's Justice League and Godzilla. All of those movies came on our cable packages. Like you could just get it through the cable package, like
through Crave,
Crave.
And you can also get it off Google Play too.
You can get it on Google Play, exact same with Wonder Woman, all of those ones that come out. Who's a fan? I can't do casting because I don't know. I don't know. I'm like,
I will say this.
Do you want Chris Krasinski and what's her face?
John Krasinski, Emily Blunt as the Thing. I don't know who the hell they're gonna cast as the Thing. Maybe bring back Michael. The guy
Chiklis?
From the
Seth Rogen as the Thing.
Oh my.
Or not.
Johnny, I always thought. No. I know people will hate me for this. I would love Andrew Garfield to be
Human Torch.
Yeah, Human Torch. Yes, but it's not gonna happen. Never. But yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be against it. I have to see how it goes. Harley Quinn. Yeah, you can. So if you didn't buy it already, you may as well just wait because they're releasing both seasons together as one collection. I just buy it as it comes out, so I didn't. So if anybody else wants to buy that, just wait.
I think everything from even from the CW when they release the DVDs, I just get them.
Yeah, I get those as well. So it's just easier that way. It's all confusing. Yep. I'm in the US personally don't really like Disney Plus. Oh, I'm not giving money to Disney. That's like not happening. It's like I'm not paying Disney Plus anything. It's like you guys are a bunch of wackos, and it's like I mean can't.
Disney Plus over here is like $7. I mean, I have.
What is it for us? 10?
Yeah.
Over there
about 10? That, yeah.
Oh wow.
It'll go up, even though they make billions of dollars.
Oh, hey guys. Sorry I'm late. Work was a killer.
That's all right. Well, we now we don't want to ambush Greymalkin because he hasn't. So we basically just did a whole rant about how John Walker's the best and Carly sucks. So now,
okay.
Like, and then J.J. Abrams' Star Trek movies are garbage.
Yeah, everybody knows that already. That's. You know. My niece, she's 13. She showed me her science textbook, and it actually says JJ movies are garbage in her science textbook.
Wow.
Oh man,
the hate is real. So many hate crimes.
Oh my God! This extremist.
They're now teaching that in Canadian schools. Okay,
right?
That's propaganda, man. Because you guys were forgetting about Super 8. Super 8 was amazing.
Didn't watch it.
No. What?
I had no interest.
How can you hate somebody's work if you haven't seen all of it? You got.
I've seen. I saw Super 8. It sucks.
I saw Super 8.
It's easy. It's easy. Do you know how many hours of my life that man owes me now? That I'll never get back. It's like 12 hours.
Yeah,
that's the number of movies I've seen. If I keep watching his movies, the toll is just going to get longer. Then I'm going to owe him. He's going to owe me 15, and then 20.
Yeah.
Where does it end?
Okay, so
when you make it in, Steven, it ends when you make it in. Okay, you owe him nothing. He's not in control of you.
He owes me.
Maybe Greymalkin can explain this. The two big questions that we're trying to tackle is when Falcon goes in to talk to Carly, what did he expect was going to happen? Did he expect that she was going to say like, "Okay, Falcon, you're the best. I'm going to give up my entire thing. I'm going to pretend I didn't blow up a bunch of people in a building. I'm going to surrender to you, and I'm going to work at McDonald's." Is that what he?
We don't know what happened.
Right.
No, we don't. I mean, come on. I mean, look at
She would have kicked his face in.
No, okay, but look. I mean, that works sometimes. I mean, we don't know how it would have worked. I mean, and plus, John Walker coming all in, just like looking like Kurt Russell or something.
Yeah, well, there you go. He is Kurt Russell.
Right.
John Walker, his mission is to arrest this criminal who's blown up people and killed them, and then she killed his best friend. That always goes down well in movies.
Yeah, he killed her, but he knew what was going on. They killed people in the. You can't be mad if you've been killing one side and then one side gets one of your guys. You can't be mad about that. I mean,
like you mean like what Carly was, like what Carly
literally.
did. That's exactly what Carly did. She's watching as her friend gets killed. It's like, oh no, it's like you lost one person out of your little group, and meanwhile you've blown up people. And John Walker killed people as a soldier in wars, but this is the first time he's killed someone in cold blood where they have surrendered.
Fair.
That act is wrong. That is the wrong thing to do if you're Captain America. So I agree with that. But the problem is that
Captain America though.
He is Captain America. He's named.
I mean, yeah, but he's Captain America, but nobody believes it.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to believe it now, but it's because of the writing that they don't believe it, not because of I'm not seeing him being aggressive and saying I want to take down the bad guys doesn't mean he's bad to me. You know what I mean? And Carly's killed so many people, and she wasn't going to surrender. We have to be honest with ourselves. She was not going to surrender to Falcon. And Falcon was very naive in thinking that was going to be the outcome. That was very
that's poor.
That was bad writing, really. That was bad. It's like, I'm going to talk her down, but she's already killed people. You're going to talk her down for what? She has to go to jail.
Goodwill, though. It bought him some goodwill. It bought him some really goodwill with her because, she knew how to hurt him.
That's not goodwill. So she took Sam's goodwill and then threatened his niece and his niece and nephew his nephews and his sister. And then she's like, "Well, I wasn't going to really kill your sister." Oh yeah, because the sister knows that. The sister doesn't know that she's not going to really kill her.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, no, we kind of saw that because remember when they were talking about Captain America and the sister said, "America doesn't care about my worldview. Why should I care about its mascot?" And that's when Carly, she's fine. She's not gonna.
Yeah, but she still doesn't know that. The sister doesn't know that. Plus, Carly's psychotic. So why would we trust anything?
Okay, all right, psychotic or calculated. She makes calculated.
No, if you take a person's life and you justify it, especially when you justify it terribly, because one thing we've all been talking about is what is the end goal of the Flag Smashers? What are they trying to do?
Kill half the population?
Yeah, that's the only way to achieve what they're talking about, which is we want things before the blip. You gotta snuff half the planet. You're a lunatic if you're even thinking that way. And go ahead.
I'm sorry, Steven.
No, that's okay.
You got to remember that she grew up in the world when the world came together. Yep. They were saying the half the planet was gone and all these people would have hated each other, but they came together to build that's why I keep on saying one world.
Yeah.
Everything happens. All that got built is gone now because there's too many people for that infrastructure.
Right.
Yeah, so she wants to kill half the world. So she's saying Thanos did the right thing. And if you're one of the people who just blipped back and you're like, oh, now the Flag Smashers want to kill me just because I exist, this is they're trying to pretend that this is a gray area, but it's not a gray area. She is a villain. She's killed people and she wants to kill more people. John Walker if soldiers kill, that's Captain America. Captain America killed people.
Yeah.
Right. Period. Mm-hmm. That's not a debate. He's killed people. It's all soldiers have killed people. Black Widow has killed tons of people. Right.
Yeah.
Loki has killed so many people, and everyone loves Loki and think he's a great character, and he's so much fun, and we want to watch shows about him. It's okay, he's literally
a killer. That's why.
Yeah.
He's interesting, right? But he's a killer. And John Walker has killed only one person that we've seen, and that person was a bad guy who was associated with the person that just murdered his best friend. His best friend, Battlestar, did not have superpowers. Carly literally destroyed that guy. That guy wasn't guilty of anything bad, right? And
he was just standing.
Right.
Yeah.
Bat, though,
and then she threw him off the wall. She super kicked him. And then his body, and he was behind concrete, and his body chopped. She broke everything in his body. He's dead. And he hit.
You're in a fight, though. You have to come on. You can't care about your combatants. I mean, we see it Invincible. They don't.
But here's
it's a
the
heavy
thing.
already show. I mean, come on.
But you're going back to the tenement of like Spider-Man, Superman, where they pull their punches because they know they're overpowered and they could kill the person.
That's true.
And she didn't pull her punch. She destroyed, as Anthony said, she super kicked him. She destroyed him.
I think
here's the thing, like,
Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem here is that the show is actively trying to get you to root for Carly Morgenthau and sympathize with her as a sympathetic villain.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work.
No.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work for a whole bunch of different reasons, but like I still don't know what their goal is.
Right.
I don't know what they're trying to do. They're just a common terrorist group. There are some strange questions, like if Captain America was not working for the government, right? When he came back, he was when he was in the war, but when he came back and for all those Avengers movies and like for the 2 and 3 and everything, he went. So then, why wouldn't they have made? Is it hard to make a vibranium something? Because why wouldn't they have made a new shield and given it to someone else? Especially when he was Nomad between the two, the last 2 Avengers movies,
Infinity and Thingy.
Yeah.
Well, Sean, to answer your question is because where's vibranium from? It's from
Wakanda.
Wakanda. It was hard to get to Wakanda.
Exactly what he said. It's really hard to get it, and you have to go through black market stuff in order to get it. And vibranium is very expensive. I don't think the government, the U.S. government, could afford it.
Yeah. My other question too is, I will not really question, just clarification.
Just like
J-Man, I don't think the Flag Smashers are trying to get rid of half the population of the planet.
Yeah,
I think they're just upset that the I don't know. Did they really say that? I think they're just upset that they don't get the same kinds of handouts and benefits that they got when during the 5 years, right?
Which
is that all it
makes
is?
them worse. That makes them worse. It's like, oh, now I can't have a free house.
Well,
anymore.
it's sort of like this pandemic right now. It's like at least here in Ontario, we're getting benefits and stuff if you lost your job. The pandemic is over and all that goes away. So the equivalent would be people saying, well, let's go back to that. Let's go back to pandemic days when I got like my CERB and I got this and I got that. And why can't we do that? Corporations, like that's the kind of thing that now I understand that like some people would see this show as a litmus test. If I'm taking that stance that I must be XYZ and on the political scale, but like honestly, they're not making it clear. And she is a villain. I just don't understand why the heroes are treating her with kid gloves all the time.
Yeah, beat her up. She's a
arrest her. Beat her up and arrest her. It's like, fight. If she's going to fight, then fight her back and arrest her. I don't understand this, like, talking her down stuff.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
But you guys are forgetting that, like, Walker, Battlestar, Winter Soldier. Did Winter Soldier have the super soldier serum?
He has
he has
serum,
it.
Okay, all right.
Battlestar does not, and Walker
Battlestar
doesn't now.
Okay. 3 out of that 4 group do not have super. They can't arrest her. It's really hard. So like, I mean, I guess what do you do with the 500-pound gorilla? You try to talk it down. You try to make it in its best interest in order to do what you say.
Remember when they talked down Thanos? No, they fought him. It's like, I don't understand. What is this?
I would have loved to have seen that.
No, Thanos, blah blah blah.
Yeah, because Thanos is on a level beyond so many else that he can literally kill everybody, and they didn't try to talk him down because it's the reaction. So she's stronger.
500-pound gorilla.
They couldn't manipulate him. They can't. Well, not manipulate. They couldn't reason with him because he has tunnel vision in what he wants.
So,
yeah.
Well, I'm going to suggest something that's how heavy sound.
Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
Is it because she was a woman and they're like, oh, we can talk to a woman?
That's Disney Plus mentality.
She's seen as a kid. No, I'll be back, guys. Hold on.
That's not Disney Plus mentality. That's old school. That's old school growing up. Like, you can't hit girls.
Right, but now they're equal.
Hit girls to hit girls.
Yeah, facts.
They're equal now, so that's bad. I'm an equal opportunity ass kicker. Right?
I'm sorry.
So why? See, this is the thing that hurt Thor. I never got to see Thor. I'll put Sean back.
Yep.
I never got to see Thor and Hela kick the crap out of each other. And it's like, well, Thor doesn't hit ladies. Well, then I guess he's dead because Hela will just kill him.
Like, just get a.
Hela was more powerful too.
Yeah, but I never saw
Thor his hammer, right? So
yeah,
why didn't he
it
talk
was
her down?
basically his training room.
Yeah, why they didn't talk her down? Yeah. And never
we need to have a super battle between the siblings. Dad liked you better, Smash. No,
I mean, she's still alive.
You're adopted, Loki.
Loki be eating popcorn while they're
Yeah,
fighting
now I
each other.
wonder. Y'all saw the new clip of Loki?
Loki,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
have
it's
no
just the
idea
time
what's
variant and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's cool. It gives more information on the story of the show. But
Yeah, I have no idea.
I
what
really
to do.
like how Owen Wilson. He's
Yeah.
like, I know everything you're saying is a lie. So
Yeah.
like, I just like, it's fine.
That's true. Loki is always. This is Andrew.
Is this Andrew?
Hey,
Yeah.
Hello, how you doing today?
We're doing good. Since,
Oh my god.
how's
since
Wolf
out of
Thomas? Yeah, everybody forgot about that. You had,
Which one?
had a child with a maid.
yeah, no, we know about that.
Yeah.
That defines him now.
Yeah.
Get to the chopper, all the kids.
Y'all get to the chopper. That's why you always say.
Schwarzenegger's my
Get the
hero.
chopper.
He's the best.
Arnold's the
That's
goat,
really
man.
funny.
He makes so many. The first Predator movie was so good.
Oh,
And then, I hate, and then just went downhill.
no, I like part
Yeah, that's
two.
why, just
Part two,
like
yeah, part two,
Terminator, you can't make a Predator movie without Arnold.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
can't.
don't know why they've never gone back to
Adrian
Dutch.
Brody.
They should do something. You know, it'd be really cool if they had Danny Glover and Schwarzenegger team up to fight the
Team up.
Predator. Because
Yeah,
Danny
they
Glover
should have done.
defeated
They
the
should have bring
Predator.
back.
Yeah.
They should bring back Arnold for another Terminator movie.
Yeah.
I think that Flash guy has lost his weight.
Oh, big time! It went on intermittent fasting, keto, and whatever. It's like that series is dead. It's like it killed itself. But no,
And
Danny Glover.
besides, you
Danny
don't
Glover
want...
killed a Predator. Danny
Yeah.
Glover actually killed the Predator. Schwarzenegger did not kill the Predator. The Predator
No,
killed
Predator
itself.
killed himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danny Glover's the man.
I mean, you
I
had
like
Arnold
Predator
going,
too.
come on, kill me, I'm here.
Did Adam Brody kill the
Yes,
Predators?
he did. Adrian Brody did kill the Predator.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
In that Yakuza
Oh, the
guy-
Japanese guy killed one too.
Yep.
Oh, he
He
was
died.
sick.
But-
That-
And when we saw that in the theater, the audience clapped.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
audience clapped. The audience
Yeah.
clapped on that.
Yeah, the last Predator movie
Lawrence
was
Fishburne
dog
killed
shit.
one too.
Lawrence Fishburne?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm sorry. He killed him. Sorry. Never
Yeah,
mind.
he killed.
All right. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, the
No, I'm
last
still saying-
Predator movie was trash.
Oh, it was so bad.
Oh, yeah, it's
So
bad.
what was the point of
Predators
making
with
it, Fox?
Brody, that could have been a series. That could have been the start of a new series because the whole idea of a whole planet nature preserve that the predators just get various aliens and just drop them off and hunt them.
Yeah,
Like,
3 was really good.
Right.
I don't know why people don't like 3.
Because it doesn't have Arnold
You
and
know, I was just thinking, when it comes to Arnold's films, after the success of the second Terminator film, they released a semi-sequel as a theme park ride in Universal Studios.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, they did. Steve went on it, I think.
What did you
Okay,
like?
let's talk. Marcus. Oh yeah, back to we strayed off this topic of the Fantastic Four.
That's
Ooh,
a
Fantastic Four.
no. The Fantastic Four will get.
That movie's not coming out until they make the X-Men movie.
I agree with this
Looking
person.
at-
Taking Krasinski and Emily Blunt as Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm. Perfect casting.
What
Oh,
about Emily
God.
Blunt as Mrs. Fantastic and John Krasinski as Invisible
Yeah,
Boy?
because
I
who
mean,
you
John
gonna
Krasinski
replace
looks like
Boy?
Mr.
Oh, he's still Invisible Woman. Just whatever.
Listen, after I learned that
What
Malcolm
do you want?
Every
to
fan
do a
wanted
Malcolm
him
X
done.
The
movie,
guy from the
good.
2005 version?
All right, hold on. Greymalkin was not here for this. So Greymalkin, this was thrown out by a fellow content creator. He thinks that Michael Bay should direct a Malcolm X movie.
Malcolm X.
Okay. All right. Fine. All right. If we're gonna do that, all right. Why don't we have Spike Lee do Little Women?
Yeah,
Oh,
Oh, great. Oh, No, we need
Why
to
not
produce
Spike
these.
Lee make a Marvel movie? Period.
Oh, hey, Jay,
Oh, okay.
someone
All right.
mentioned me in the chat.
Nobody's ready for that. Nobody wants a Spike Lee.
Have you guys seen or heard the Schwarzenegger prank calls? Those are so
man.
Oh, I have seen those. They're pretty good.
So funny.
I haven't seen them use the soundboard on Fortnite games.
Those are. I saw the one. I listened to the one where like they were calling for technical support.
Yeah.
And it's like, what kind of computer do you have? He's like, I have a neural net, a learning computer. They're like, we don't know what that is.
My CPU is a neural net processor, a learning computer.
No, let me do it. My CPU is a neural net processor, a learning computer.
And then it's like, can you we're gonna have to transfer you somewhere else, and all you hear is, you son of a bitch.
I bet it would be funny when they end it, you hear him say, I'll be back, or hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah, man.
I forgot Malcolm Lee.
Who would you get for Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm if you couldn't get Blunt and could like
I don't know.
in the office?
That's a tough one.
Hard.
When you think about it, the one who kind of looked like Mr. Fantastic was that one from the 2005 version.
Ian Gulford?
Grufford?
He was fine as Mr. Fantastic. He looked kind of like him.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he got the gray hairs on the side.
I thought those two movies was okay.
But I got to say, one perfect casting.
Malcolm Lee rather than Spike Lee.
Can I say, one perfect casting from that franchise was Chris Evans as Johnny Storm.
Yeah, that was
Michael Chiklis as the Thing.
Yeah, they're all good. All right, so now, Anthony, go ahead. Finish your point.
Yeah, I said like those movies was okay. The 1994 one was dog shit. Oh man,
it wasn't supposed to see the light of day, bro.
Yeah, I have it. It's somewhere in my closet. Somewhere. Like,
deep in the closet.
That movie,
we all have that.
It's just to keep the rights. It's to keep
31.
the rights. Marvel couldn't.
I still got King Conan on my resume.
Take your
But after that, Terminator, Dark Fate, I took in a break from acting for a while.
Yeah, Conan's my favorite movie of all time. The Schwarzenegger Conan Barbarian. I have an entire
look at
Conan
my
collection.
icon. I used to look so handsome back then.
J-Man, would you object to Jason Momoa doing a King Conan?
No. So you know what the thing is? That Conan movie was it's an enjoyable movie. I got nothing against it really. We saw it in the theater, right? You know, and it's okay. I like Jason Momoa as Conan as a replacement. If you can't have Schwarzenegger, obviously he's too old or whatever.
He needs a better script.
He needs a better script.
I know still Jack as fuck. Like, come on.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'd like to see King Conan only because we were promised it.
For like
years ago. There's a script, and it's great.
Yeah, it's like it's been decades, right? Like you know, if Snyder can get his cut after a few years, you know, we can get the John Milius.
How old is John Milius now?
I don't know, but he's the damn best.
Hey, you guys know who will make a really good Invisible Woman, but she would have to color her hair. It'll look completely weird. Huh. Jennifer Connelly.
I looked it up.
Jennifer Connelly
years old.
She's a good actress.
She's 77 years old.
No, 89.
John Milius.
He's how old?
89.
He's 89. He could do it. What about George Miller? He was like 100 and he made Mad Max. And he made it better than
George Miller is 76.
George Miller is 76. Yeah. But I know Jennifer Connelly is all. I thought you said Jennifer Connelly was 70 something. Are you crazy?
No.
She looks better now than she did when she was younger.
What are you talking about? She looked fine when she did that Hulk movie.
Yeah, she looks good in that.
Fine now.
She looks fine now.
Yeah.
In fact,
there
was a
you
movie
haven't seen job opportunities. But
I'm going to bounce.
All right.
All right.
Yes, Steve.
Baby.
Also, Billy Crudup for Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, he's okay.
The father of the Flash in Justice League.
Yeah, I mean, that was not a great movie, but that's not the fault of Jason Momoa, right?
No.
Like,
No,
Yeah,
it was a cash grab movie. To
That was a
retain
cash grab.
rights. Yeah.
Yep. What were you saying, Greymalkin? Sorry,
they should bring more back.
they can bring him back and do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a new director, not a garbage director.
It'll be like The Rock coming back to do Scorpion.
Scorpion King.
Oh,
Oh,
I
God.
can't
Are
imagine.
they not talking about that? Like,
I
I
saw
don't know
that.
why.
The Rock is doing his own show about his younger years.
Oh god.
No,
Yeah, I know.
Show too. That's the
Yeah,
bad
that
part.
show is garbage, bro. Oh
looks
my
pretty bad.
God.
No, because if you know the real stories, you can just like, okay, I see what I know what really happened.
Right.
But
But I can't wait to see The Rock as Black Adam facing off Superman.
Yeah, that's not happening now.
we're
It's
waiting.
not happening for sure. I don't think it will happen. Maybe in the future.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Well, I mean, the same. Let me see. Rock Agent is the same as
Hey.
Henry Cavill. So you never
And if you
know.
remember, at DC Fandom, he called out the members of the Justice League.
Yeah, and then Warner Brothers changed their mind yet again. So it's like, I mean, he doesn't understand that he's dealing with people that change their mind every 2 days. So
Yeah,
it's like
every
he
2
wants to
weeks.
have a face-off with Henry Cavill Superman, and in his mind there is a continuity, but he's contending with people that think different things, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
There's
but
no creative head at DC. There's no one saying like, okay, this is what we're doing.
The thing is, I'm used to soft reboots in that you use the same cast. Look, Star Trek 2.
Yep.
Star Trek 1, people were
It's a great
disappointed
movie.
with that movie because it
Really
was
cool.
boring and long. J-Man loves it. It was boring and long, but Star Trek 2 was a completely different tone and mood and more fun and more action-packed, and they didn't recast the Star Trek characters. They just used everything. It's the same continuity, but different tone, different mood. And from there, Star Trek, it was a launching pad for the rest of the franchise. So I don't know, like, they want to reboot everything because they don't like the direction of the characters. Just reframe the direction of the characters for the next movies.
Yeah, like change the main character. That's why I always said for X-Men movies. Instead of doing it Wolverine, have him be the first movie, and then the next movie change it to like Rogue or something.
Sure.
So it's a totally different movie. Third movie, do Nightcrawler, totally different movie. Like
X-Men has so
Okay,
many
but
guys you
Nightcrawler
can
is
flip around with them.
Look, Caleb, I don't know who it is. I know you're talking about. I am the T800 Cyberdyne Simpsons Model 101.
No, that's Andrew. That's
call Andrew for short.
I don't know who he's talking about.
Secret Wars. That's not that. Marcus, that is 100% not happening.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
you know what? I
it's not
see
a
them
secret
doing
war.
something like
Maybe
that.
not. But if they
Do
do
you
Secret
really
Wars,
hope
it'll be
nope, that would never happen. The earliest you will see Secret Wars in 2099. That's when you'll see it.
They'll do Secret Wars, but they won't do
And yeah,
the
when
Beyond
Kevin
the way I
Feige is
want them to
100
be.
years old,
With the disco thing and
yeah, that's not gonna
yeah.
happen.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
guys,
I
I have a hot take regarding Sharon Carter.
All right, Sharon Carter. Yes.
Sharon Carter, okay, she knew that that Steve Rogers was her uncle because
And why did she kiss him?
because hear me out, because she's into her uncle. She's like, wow, she saw him as a young man, like, wow, because remember, her job was to protect him, not get close to him.
And look at that, she got close to him.
Yeah, and you know
She
how
wasn't
awkward
shy.
it was. Maybe like you saw how awkward it was every time they had any kind of interaction.
I mean, the interaction first
Yeah,
started in
because
Winter Soldier.
you kissing your
Or was it all like she? Because remember, at the end of Endgame, Steve went back in time. That means he grew. He had a life with Peggy, and it means he already knew Sharon as a little kid.
Oh, that is pretty weird.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, again, the time, like, as soon as you have time travel and stuff, it gets really
And I
messy.
thought Terminator
It's
timeline was
supposed to
confusing.
happen. That's the way I look at it. Like
Yeah, well,
anything that if you go back in time, you were supposed to do that. Like,
And I
Right,
thought the
that's
Terminator
what they're
timeline
saying.
was confusing.
Terminator's timeline. The time travel in Terminator is only an excuse to have action movies.
yeah.
That
Well, here's the thing. When
it has nothing
Genesis,
to do with time travel because they just go back and then it's
But
like the
here's the
cool thing
thing.
was there was the father. That was it.
when the Genesis came out, it completely erased the first two movies.
Yeah, nobody. No, I don't know any person that liked that movie. There's not one, and I own
Nobody
it.
liked
Speaking of
Terminator
Falcon,
3.
which
Terminator 3 was
nostalgia,
trash.
I
No,
watched
Terminator 3 is okay. He's talking about Terminator 5.
Oh, 5
Speaking of Falcon,
just-
nostalgia.
Christian Bale?
No, that's
that was 4.
Salvation.
No, Terminator 4 was good. Okay, I don't care what
Oh, so you're like in the future world with the machines?
I don't mind it, but
What
the
about
problem
the
is
TV show?
TV show's okay too. The problem with Terminator 4, I'll tell you what it is.
Show.
Terminator 4 is not a bad movie, but Terminator 4 is a bad representation of the future we were promised in the other movies. Because
you mean like with the world between Skynet?
Yeah, when they show you the future in Terminator 2 and 1, it's super dark, grimy, scary place to be with like skulls everywhere.
Everything's really scary at night.
Yeah, but we never saw that.
Yeah, but I think the point is it's always night because it's the nuclear fallout. But in part 4, it's all sunny and bright, and there's like tornado
it was in
fish
2018, just a few years after.
It was the Matrix, you guys. Like they had the sun has like.
Well, that's something entirely different.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a crap movie.
Can I say something about that?
Yeah.
I cannot believe after the first two movies came out, it gave people nightmares about one day people can make AI and machines and they'll turn against this.
It will happen in the future, not now.
No, we have that movie. It's called The Matrix.
That's something different. At least the machines let you live out your life.
Every AI movie goes back to the Matrix. Like you saw the
Matrix was after Terminator.
Like, oh my God, that's how the Matrix started.
Go ahead.
But can I say, at least in the Matrix, they let you live out your normal lives in that machine world.
It's a cage, bro. Okay. Ever since the Matrix, every AI movie, at the end of it, I always go, that's exactly how the Matrix started.
What does the Will Smith movie iRobot count?
iRobot.
iRobot predates all those by like how many decades? iRobot's like super old, right?
Right.
Yeah. Like,
and also the Animatrix. Like you want
that's before the actual movie.
Matrix Part 1 was a great movie. That was like 10 out of 10, and the rest of them are garbage.
2 and 3 just shut them out. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Garbage.
Okay, so you're gonna tell me that Seraph, like the Oracle's badass ninja bodyguard.
I like to take Neo versus Agent Smith.
Hold on, Anthony. Let Greymalkin finish his point.
Okay, we saw a bigger world. We saw more. We saw Zion. We saw more ships. We saw Neo do more. We saw that the Matrix is a lot deeper than we think. And Matrix 2 and 3 were a little messy, but
Matrix 1 was great. The problem with Matrix 2 is that at the end of Matrix 1, he becomes the chosen one. The chosen one is basically like Superman, right? Yeah. He can do anything. So in the next movie, he doesn't it's like he's fighting Agent Smith for like 15 minutes. I'm like, well, you can fly. Just fly away.
Like, I think that's more of an error. What Agent Smith can do now. Because like if you're the one, if you're like Superman a little bit, aren't you gonna be like, oh, I kind of want to see, it's kind of like Goku. I kind of want to see where this goes.
Yeah, but that's Goku's entire being. His entire being is based on finding opponents that he can defeat or whatever. That's like his. I don't know. It was just weird. Like,
I read about what their life was like before the events of the movie. Apparently, it was about AI being developed, and one of the machines kills someone, and they make their own civilization. And then instead of the whole civil rights thing for the machines, they try to nuke them and return creating the machine war.
I think Ghost Rider and Silver Surfer.
I can see
like
that.
Silver Surfer
like Ghost Rider, especially after
Silver Surfer was good.
Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider.
Yeah, he was the best thing in that. Yeah. Go ahead, Gray.
No, I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I don't like Nova because he kind of started the whole Avengers vs. X-Men thing. Because he came in like, the Phoenix is coming. The Phoenix is coming. Like,
I know.
And the Avengers just took that at face value, forgetting the fact that he's 15 years old and he doesn't even know what the Phoenix is. So he could have passing the Phoenix while he was just like, going to Galactic 7-Eleven for a slushie. So, freaks out.
Right.
Oh.
Nova's a stupid character.
No,
I mean, I never got. That's one character I
He's
never.
a stupid character.
I never got
That's
into
it.
Nova. That's one character I never got
Nova,
into. Sean, did you get
Quasar's another one.
And there's
and
three versions of
Quasar
Nova
is-
in the comics.
Yeah, and wait, who created Quasar again? Was that Mark Green?
I don't know, man.
Greenwald or whatever. Somebody important created Quasar, and it was like his baby. Like it was. I never read it, but for the people that love it, really loved it. It was like you were either really there wasn't any casual Quasar fans. It was either those guys who were like, yeah, this is a great series, or I just never got into it, and I was in the not got into it.
not get into it.
Yeah, is it Mark Grunwald? Oh, what's the guy's name? I'm the
Yeah.
worst with comic creators' names. Grunwald.
Yeah.
He wrote He actually wrote the John Walker stuff that we're kind of watching. You know what I just realized?
Oh, John
That
Walker.
Captain America. I just realized that Captain America wore the U.S. agent costume first, and then he got his old costume back, and then U.S. agent John Walker took the U.S. agent costume. I'm reading it right now with my comics.
Interesting. All right, that's cool.
Yeah. So what happened was after Captain America gave up his shield and costume, he was then told by the government, you cannot have a costume that is red, white, and blue. You cannot call yourself Captain America, like all these stipulations, right? So
Ooh,
Steve,
can I mention something about the Falcon Moon Soldier?
you can in a second. And like he then got a black costume, and it was actually made by D-Man. Do you guys remember D-Man? Demolition Man?
I know.
Yeah.
Demolition Man.
So not the movie. But like, so D-Man was. I never liked D-Man because he looked like Daredevil and Wolverine mashed up, and I thought, what was this character? He was weird. But anyways, he creates the costume, which is the U.S. agent costume, and then Tony Stark makes him a new shield, and that's where. And then he calls himself Cap, the Captain, and
Wow.
that's what he goes by for a while. So that's what I'm reading right now. So right now, Bucky just got a shield. Bucky is Lamar Hoskins.
Yeah.
He just got a shield, the triangular shield. Yeah. And he's still wearing the Bucky costume, but he eventually switches to the Battlestar costume, and Captain America then switches. That's so actually, and I have a thing for that. So this right here, that is John Walker, and that is Lamar.
Really? Looks more like Steve Rogers.
But you could tell that he's got kind of a weird grin.
He's supposed to.
A moment of silence for my buddy who died in the last episode.
Oh yeah, the Battlestar.
Yeah, right. So that's what happened.
That reminds me.
I'm really surprised
John Walker
take that serum as soon as he got it. As soon as
he killed someone. He killed someone.
No, he didn't. No, I mean he had it, but he didn't use it. Like
he didn't use it. No, he only used it after Lamar's death.
What did he like? Oh, I didn't see him put it in his neck yet.
Wait. No, he had it. He because he bends a bar.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit. Yeah.
You're right.
So
my
problem with the serum is that like they're playing fast and loose with the rules. So they're saying that it enhances whoever you are or whatever you feel. So are we saying that U.S. agent did that thing only because he's been enhanced to feel more hatred? And also, how did it enhance what's her face, like Carly Morgenthau and all that stuff, right?
It made her more like a baby.
Black Smasher.
Well, it was
because he even says to Battlestar, it's like, would you use the super soldier serum? And he's like, hell's yeah. And then he goes, aren't you afraid of what you would become, if you did? So I don't know. It's like, what is Carly Morgenthau then? Is she just more crazy?
Well, okay.
Dr. Erskine,
she's more whiny?
In the first movie, said that the serum amplifies the good in someone, and good becomes best, bad becomes worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the excuse for Skull. Go ahead, Gray.
Okay. The answer to your question, Sean, we saw it 2 episodes ago with that guy who created, who Carly stole the super soldier serum from. He said he took out all that and just focused on the physical aspects.
Okay. So really it's psychosomatic if you feel that your mood is enhanced for better or for worse because of the super soldier serum. Right now that would just be psychosomatic. It's not correct. It doesn't affect that.
It's a placebo effect. supposed to make you feel that way, but like,
so he might say like, "Oh, the serum made me do that," or something like that, you know?
Yeah, but why did John Walker?
That's what I would say.
Why did John Walker kill that dude with his shield?
Well, he has something going on with him in the first place. He's not all there.
He's got PTSD himself.
Yeah.
They talk about the worst day of his life. They haven't shown it. Maybe that'll be like the first 5 minutes of the next episode.
Yeah.
Well, I think
spoilers. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. So
yeah, that is
but
what's
going to happen. That's when we saw that. It proves that there's only one man with the shield, Steve Rogers.
Well, okay, all right, calm down. All right, we also thought only one person could hold Thor's hammer, and as far as we know, 3 people.
That's something different.
It's not different.
I missed what he was saying. Was the point? What was the point, Andrew? What were you saying?
Well, because you know how with Steve Rogers, he always spares his enemies and always does the right thing.
Yeah.
Well, I saw it differently here.
The problem is Steve Rogers was not a soldier that saw action before he got the serum. Like he wasn't affected by PTSD or anything, you know.
Yeah, because he already had powers.
He went through training and stuff, but like he never saw action, and then he got the serum, and he had his whole own ideals, and so I guess those ideals that he shows in the training, like, you know, jumping on the bomb, his resourcefulness of taking down that pole instead of climbing up it, telling Dr. I can't remember, Erskine or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
That he hates bullies, he doesn't want to kill and all that. All of that is his moral grounding and philosophy. He takes the serum and it enhances that. Then he sees action.
Well, I got to get going.
So yeah.
All right. See you,
Terminator.
I'll be back.
Jump into the lava.
I didn't think he would say that. I didn't think he would say I'll be back. I think that they did say that in the first movie, but now if you're saying, which I missed that, where he's removed those components of the chemical, where now the serum just makes you stronger.
Yes.
So now it's just you. It's just you with powers. It's not you more enhanced.
Right.
I think my problem is that people's anger towards John Walker for killing that guy when he's subdued, that's wrong, period. That's not debatable. The guy's down. It's over. And also he is not the one that killed Lamar, so I can't even give it a revenge excuse.
No.
But John Walker's a troubled person, and he did something wrong there. But Carly is doing tons of wrong and property damage and killing people. And how are we supposed to feel sorry for her just because she got more things during the blip? It's like, well, I'm sorry, but we're back. And it's like, if I had a house, I want my house back. Like, I didn't choose to be blipped out of existence.
I think like with her, there was another way she can do it. She felt like she was being ignored.
Right.
Like,
well,
no, there are other ways you can do that.
Right.
There are other ways. There are a bunch of ways they could have done that, but you know, I guess they thought this was the most effective way to go about it, which is weird. Why not just give all their people that super soldier serum and just make them turn into a? Hey, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out.
Sure, just make them all villains then, and say we're going to kick ass and take our shit back. Like,
whoa. Then you got Krakoa.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying. Like, you're right. But the thing is like, I don't know what the show wants me to think. Like, if they want me to think that I should sympathize with Carly, they have failed, because I don't. In fact, I sympathize more with John Walker, and I'm like, well, I'm with John Walker on this. It's like, she's blown up people, she's killed people, she killed my best friend. It's like, arrest her, take her down, whatever. I'm not saying kill her, but if she gets killed in the process, oh well. Like, what do you want me to tell you? It's like, that's the thing what we're dealing with here, and I don't know what the show is trying to tell me. Marvel has done this in the past. They did it with Captain Marvel. It's like, am I supposed to like Carol? Because it's like, I don't care about Carol. It's like, I personally am okay with her because I like Captain Marvel in the comics, and you know, but they're not writing the movie for me to care about her. So I don't know. Do you want me to care about Carol? Because right now I'm just like, oh, she has powers and she flies. That's cool. And I like Brie Larson, so it's like, as an actress. But I don't love the Captain Marvel character the way I would love a Captain America or even like an Iron Man.
He hasn't earned it.
You know, and that's the thing. So Marvel's done this a few times, and I think they're trying to make this. Are they trying to make this like a gray area? Because it's not gray.
They're trying to. Yeah, I'm also confused as to. I'm confused as to what Captain America is, and maybe that's the question they're asking. But like in the world of MCU, what does the average person think Captain America is? Because he fought in World War II, and then he didn't hear from him anymore, and then he came back as an Avenger, and as an Avenger, he fought, science fiction stuff. He fought monsters and aliens and all that stuff.
Government,
and he wasn't really seen to be someone who was taking orders from the government. So then they're like, this is the new Captain America. And so he goes on missions for the government. Does the rest of the MCU average person know this? Or what do they think that Steve Rogers' Captain America was? And why would this guy be the new Captain America in their eyes when it's a completely different format?
I have another question, Sean, that you kind of helped me get to. Steve Rogers in right now is still alive.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. Yeah. Where is this guy?
Can't Sam just like make a video? Couldn't Steve just make a video saying like, "Hey,
I choose him.
My successor is this guy. Anybody else, they're going against my wishes."
I think I don't think he wants to explain why he's old and why he's still alive and all that. And I don't. Yeah. He wants to remain secret. So I mean,
because he didn't even reveal the woman, and we knew who it was. No, but like when Falcon asked, like, should I ask about her? He's like, no.
So Belle Reeves doing a stream as well, and if I have time after this, maybe I'll pop onto hers and see what's going on. So she's got a cool channel going. I saw her stream come up just a few minutes ago.
Nice.
Yeah. So Barcy, you missed the meaning of life. I'm sorry. But we solved the equation. We solved it. It was phenomenal. We're just bitching about Carly and John Walker.
Can we just talk about how cool Zemo is?
Oh my God,
he's so hip.
He's the best.
Okay. This is all right. When Sam was talking about, he's like, "Oh, my TT." It's like, Buggy's like, "TT? What's a TT?"
I know.
My aunt, dumbass. And then Zemo was like, I get it. Hey, I don't, I'm not you, but I hear you.
And he's got the whole lights.
Yeah, the whole Turkish Delight thing is supposed to be, I guess, creepy because he's offering kids candy, right? But there's a theory online. There's a theory online that he's secretly seeding new code words to reactivate the Winter Soldier. So Turkish Delight would be one. There's other ones where he repeats some words sometimes. You're like, what the hell? He repeats them in conversation. That's a theory. They have 2 more episodes. I don't know if that will be the case, right? But
also, there's this theory that Black Panther didn't even trust Bucky. That's why he didn't tell him about the thing.
About the arm.
Yeah, that was I agree. You know what? See, again, if that's the thing that we're coming down to, then I'm with Black Panther because I can't trust Bucky either. This guy could snap at any time. Maybe there's a backup code word. Maybe there's anything. So I agree with the Wakandans putting in a failsafe that only they know about, where they can hit.
They would have to. I mean, come on.
I liked that. Or maybe Greymalkin, you can explain this. I don't understand what the ladies from Wakanda. I don't know. I don't remember their names. I don't remember what they're trying. What are they looking for?
Oh, they were looking for Zemo.
So they just want to bring Zemo back because he murdered. T'Chaka, right?
Because they didn't know where he was.
Well, they failed because he's literally right there and they're fighting. It's like if they're so good, just bypass John Walker and go get him.
I didn't understand that. That scene was badly written. It's like then they start fighting him. It's like, what are you doing? Are you professionals? Your main goal is this guy.
Walking out the door.
And then he literally walks out the door when they're fighting.
Also, you guys saw that Dora Milaje with the Captain America shield. I'm like, she's worthy. She's worthy.
my only thing about Zemo and J-Man, you might get this reference. The guy looks like Bruce McCullough from Kids in the Hall. The way Bruce McCullough looked back then, he looks like that guy. It's the same face and everything. It distracts me when I see him. So anyway,
I gotta tell you a random thing. my grandfather always carried like we're Croatian, so I'm Croatian, and my grandfather always carried candies in his thing, and it was like those twisty ones and I'm like, he always had candies, and when Baron Seal put that out, I'm like, oh, dude, this is what these guys do. I don't know what it is about that part of the world. All of these men are walking around with these candies, and my grandfather always be like, "Oh, did you want a candy?" I'm like, "What?" Like it was like a utility belt, like candy. You're like, "Oh, okay, sure, I'll have one."
It does look like Bruce McKillop.
Did you look it up?
Yeah, no, you had to look him up.
No, I used to watch Kids in the Hall, and when I remember was Kevin McDonald, and I just went back and like, he does have a smug face that you just want to punch.
Brennan is also Croatian as well.
Yeah.
And like his granddad, I worked with his grandfather for a long time. Me and him, and he had candy anytime. I don't think so. I don't know. I actually, Brennan, I don't know how old you are. Which is, I guess, is it a fail? I don't know. But before you were born, I used to go to your grandfather's house, and his grandfather had a kick-ass basement with like a lot of cool toys and stuff. And this sounds weird, but it was so cool. And he had candies and stuff. It was a great time. And this is how it was. Everything was a very open door policy. Like like I know this is a stereotype. So, the doors weren't locked, but we literally never locked the doors.
Yeah.
We would have the doors open while we're asleep.
Canadian stereotype, but it's true.
To let the breeze go by. Like and like we all lived together. Like his granddad and his dad. And my grandfather and my mom and my aunt and everything, we all lived in the same kind of buildings. We had the doors open at night. Like the front door would be unlocked, open, and our balcony windows would be open, and our door would be open to get breeze. While we're sleeping.
It's a stereotype if a lot of people do it. So there you go.
Yeah,
good on for Canada.
Yeah, and it'd be like
maybe not, but yeah.
But people would randomly come over. There wasn't like I'm calling you to come over. My friend would literally come over unannounced and like go into my fridge and like grab like a juice or something. I'm like, hey, how's it going, Vic? How's it going? Yeah, cool. And you're like, what is happening? Like
that Simpsons episode where Sam O'Neill just like he was going to break into and it was like the door's just open. I can just go and he just everybody.
Yeah. But it'd be so weird. It'd be like, and like they'd stay. I go to my buddy's place. Like I'd go to Mark and Albert's place, Sean, and we'd be there like till 2 a.m. It'd be like, oh, it's 2 a.m. Should I go home? I was like, yeah, I guess so. I'd just walk home at 2 a.m. It's like, nobody cared.
It's like that Bowling for Columbine, was it? Where Michael Moore is in Windsor and he's like, they say that the doors are always unlocked here, and he just goes to a random house and he opens the door and the guy's in there. It's like, what the hell? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'm just seeing if this is a stereotype or not. He's like, yeah, no, my door's unlocked.
Like, no, the doors always stay closed here.
Yeah, we should adopt more of that policy here.
Well, my door's locked because my wife is Indian and she ain't opening up any doors.
And she ain't opening shit. Yeah, no.
My wife is Mexican and
no way.
We got a shotgun by the door. For visitors.
You know what my mom has by the door for her? When I went to Croatia as a kid on one of my trips, I came back with a spiked mace. She has a spiked. She has my spiked mace at the door. I swear to God, I'm like, and I was getting my coat once. This is before COVID, and I was getting my coat once, and I'm like, oh my God, there's my spiked mace. I thought I lost that. I was like, are you serious right now? I'm just like, yeah, I'm keeping it. I'm like, Well, I said if someone breaks in and this woman pulls out a spiked mace, I'd be like shitting my pants. I'd be like, okay, I am not robbing you. You are totally good because like, how crazy are you that you have like weaponry? Like, it's not a gun, which is scary as well. But like, if someone pulls out a mace, that's like next level weirdness.
No.
Like,
I'll tell you, it's that spiked mace. It's not for burglars. I'll tell you what it's for. I know what it's for. Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
Like, no, let them in. Like, I got the bat.
I got them. So, a friend of mine, my oldest friend, I'm 43 years old. I'm still friends with this person right now. We met in junior kindergarten. We're still friends now. We went to school together, whatever. Anyways, and his dad would literally talk so much to the Jehovah's Witnesses that they would try to find excuses to leave. I'm not joking. Sean,
I know what you're talking about.
I know you know. You can confirm this with him on the next time we go to Steve's place for board games when this bullshit is over. You can ask him, and he'll ask him your dad and the door-to-door people, and he'll be, oh, my dad, he will talk to him and his dad was so friendly. He would just talk for like he kept talking. How's it going? How are things going? Are you guys going door to door? Yeah, just get. And it's like talking. You're like, what is happening here? And they were literally like, Dad, who are you talking to? He's like, I'm just talking to these people I met at the door. They're like, they don't want to.
They're like, help us.
Yeah. And they would try to escape. And I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. It is so funny. I encourage intruders.
I encourage intruders.
I don't, man. I can't. I it's like, no. Oh my God. So did you watch Invincible? We'll do this and then we'll start.
Invincible was amazing. I love it. Also, Omni-Man, like, I know he's powerful and everything, but he's such a dick.
He's
such a dick. It's like, just a dick.
Now, did you guys call, because I've now read past all of this. I'm on issue like 30 or something. So I've passed all of this. Were you guys surprised at the Titan angle? Like what happened with that? I thought that was. I mean, in the comics,
I thought it was a cool like ending to that. That's why I don't want to read the comics right now. I'll watch this and be surprised by the twist and stuff.
Yeah, I was surprised in the comic show. I was shocked. Yeah,
it really reminded me of the end of Luke Cage season 2.
I love Luke Cage season 2.
Yeah, I know. We were on the 3rd, but we got a punk ass season of Jessica Jones and Punisher that nobody wanted. I'm gonna go with one more season of Daredevil and one more season of Luke Cage.
Those are the two. Those are my two favorites. Yeah. Those are my two favorites as well. Jessica Jones. Are you a hero or are you not a hero? Pick it. Pick your thing. Like
it's like quit being a grump the entire freaking thing, man.
I know.
And Punisher, Punisher should have been a series, but the thing is that they didn't do anything with it. It's like very aimless, you know.
It's aimless, yeah.
Yeah.
He was a dick. He showed how much it how he was kept on saying like. Telling Gizmo's that dude who was making all his weapons, and he's like, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna go to your house and nail your wife, and you're gonna watch."
Like, what is that? I didn't even finish season 1 of Punisher, and Punisher is one of my favorite characters. I just couldn't. I should get through it.
Yeah, to date, the best for me is still the first one with Dolph Lundgren, even though he doesn't have the skull and all that stuff. And back then, if you were a kid back then, you highly anticipated this movie because they released the comic first, like a year before, and I read that shit. And the spine I have is all like messed up because I read the crap out of that, and then I bought it on VHS. I watched it over and over and over.
Me too.
It's still because the thing is, Punisher was supposed to be a take on action movies in the 80s, and so. And that movie is it's kind of an early 90s, but it's an 80s style action picture with Punisher in it. And it's to me the truest version, even though there's a lot of changes and differences.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I got two weird things to say. Number one, Brennan, so my godfather has the official release one sheet poster of Punisher hanging in his office when I used to work for him back when I was younger. And I'm like, you have the Punisher poster? This is crazy. And he just liked the movie because it was an action movie. Okay, but number 2, the Punisher comic, are you ready for this? In grade 9, when that came out, we had to do a radio show, and we did the entire comic of Punisher as a radio show. I still have it. So I was the Punisher, and my voice is like, like a kid voice. Brennan, he still has the poster. Dude, that poster is very difficult to get. If he ever wants to donate it to me, I would gladly accept it. Do you think the next big bad of the MCU, Doctor Doom, Galactus, Mephisto, Kang? It's going to be Kang, I think.
Yeah.
Kang was going to appear in Ant-Man. Is that correct? Am I?
Ant-Man 3.
Yeah. Is that correct? Yeah. I like Kang. I think he's visually cool. You know what? Time travel has to be a disastrous mess for me to like it. Like I like when we saw Back to the Future 2, people like my mom was like, "What is happening in this movie?" I thought it was great. It wasn't confusing enough.
No,
I need it to be super confusing. I want Kang to be like appearing everywhere. Like, wait, how did you get here? I anticipated this. Remember in Bill and Ted at the end where they're going into the future and giving themselves like items that they're gonna need, and I was like, this is great. I need it to be confusing. I love it.
Right. Time travel is really easy. I don't know. Like Doctor Who really gave me like a really solid foundation on how it works.
Yeah.
Like okay, there was this one episode.
Tell me what happened in
Martha. The first
Martha. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like the doctor met up with Martha before her day even started and just dropped his tie and then like went through all that stuff and then like, hey, how come I mentioned this more? It's like, oh yeah, right.
Yeah, that was great.
Everything's cyclical.
David Tennant's the best. You should watch Des. I don't know if you were on the stream when we talked about it.
Oh, David Tennant was the best thing about Jessica Jones.
Oh, easy.
He had one 30-second scene at the end of the 4th episode, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, he's the best.
He just walked into somebody's house, made the wife cook him dinner, told the kid to go into the closet, and said, I gotta pee in there. I'm like, it's like you're the grimiest dude I ever met in my life.
He was great. My wife started to be like, she's like, I think I just signed with David Tennant. I'm like, you can't. He's crazy. But David Tennant's so good that you're just like, oh, I just like David Tennant anyway.
I watched it for David Tennant, and I couldn't watch season 2.
Yeah, me too.
Like, oh, now we're focusing on the actual person. I don't care about this character.
See, you go Doctor Who for that. You go, even Harry Potter 4.
Harry Potter, yeah. What did you think? Because Sean already knows the answer to this. But what did you think of Bushmaster in season 2? Sean knows what I think because I love him. I absolutely love him. I will meet that actor. God, I need his autograph. I need to talk to him. He is the damn best. I literally could not get enough. He needed to be in every scene. I just thought he was so awesome. Bushmaster was my favorite of. Well, maybe Bullseye was pretty good and Kingpin's good, but maybe like I don't know.
It's better than the Cobra guy ended up being Luke Cage's brother. I am your brother.
Yeah.
No, Bushmaster was dope because he was basically like a Jamaican Luke Cage.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
He was doing everything Luke Cage was doing. He was walking in the hood like Luke Cage. He was dressed like Luke Cage. He was smashing the same girls as Luke Cage was. It was.
We don't get enough of that patois either. Like we don't like it. It's like my mom's Guyanese, so it's similar to that. Like he said "pick me" at one point, and I'm like, oh, I know what that is. It's like we don't get enough of that in media. So I really took to that accent. I loved it.
I loved him. He was so good.
That show was just so good. Like dang. Okay, I really wanted season 3 because I recognized
he became the crime boss. Yeah.
So, like, what was he gonna do with all these crime bosses? Because you know that Daredevil would have showed up. He would have talked to Fisk at some point. Like he's in another echelon now.
Yeah.
Misty, I don't know. Misty Knight was so wicked.
Oh, for their show.
When
their show was gonna be cool.
Yeah, like when she got the arm and all that. I don't know. I was like, I just thought she was so cool because it's like I like when there's characters who like want to get stuff done. This is why I like the John Walkers and all that. It's like, look, she's like, look, I'm taking care of fucking business around here. Like, why are you stopping me? You know, I like that attitude where it's like, I'm going to go out, I'm going to do something, you know? And she was kick ass. Her and Luke Cage, like together. Now, Misty Knight is actually Iron Fist's girlfriend in the earlier comics.
Doesn't mean he's okay. Doesn't mean like Danny can't like black chicks. He likes black chicks.
Yeah, he did. He did. And then Colleen was more of a friend, and then I don't know if she changed later on.
He can get both of them.
I mean, they could. Yeah, Daughters of the Dragon. That would have been super interesting, right? The two of them. But that's the other thing too. And they keep talking. We need strong female characters. You've got them, but you don't want to use them. Like it's like Misty Knight was there. You had Monica Rambeau. You have Colleen Wing. You have, and if you want women of color, you've got that too. So there's characters in the Marvel universe that you have, but you're not using them, and I don't know why.
It's like Thundra, man. Bring her in.
Oh
like
I've
been reading a lot of her.
Yes, I was like thinking that is the most random.
That's a random pull, eh? But like
random.
I love the name.
Also, all right, this is for Daredevil. Am I the only person who was really annoyed by Karen Page? Like she was so thirsty for Matt. I'm like, it's just desperate. Like
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been reading Daredevil. Daredevil's my boy, right? He's up there. Karen Page in the comics is disastrous.
Oh yeah.
I can't stand her.
She's like Sharon. She likes Sharon Stone in the movie Casino.
Oh yeah, yeah. She was brutal in that. I like Casino though. It was cool.
No, it was a good movie. I'm just saying, like,
yeah. But yeah, you're right. But yeah, oh man, but Karen Page was much better. Maybe I think the actress deserves credit because she made me like her a lot more because I couldn't stand her in the comics. That's one thing where the live action person's better, in my opinion. If you don't like the live action person, that just shows you how bad the comic book version.
Well, Foggy was great in that show too. I thought he was going to be an annoying sidekick, but
Foggy was great. Yeah.
Like Doctor Doom would be great, but I don't know. They're going to have to build him up.
They had to build him up for a while.
Yeah. And I want him to be a dictator from Latveria. He wears the mask, and listen, like there's nothing cheesy about that because we deal with dictators all the time. And, why wouldn't he be a guy that has super advanced technology and then everyone's all of a sudden like, oh my God, what are they capable of? So now they're a danger and threat to everyone. And he goes to the UN and he's basically like, come get some. If you want to invade, and I can invade any one of you anytime I want to. So, like, make him a threat. Make him Doctor Doom from the comics. I don't know why they reinterpret this guy all the time in the movies. It's like, he has these powers and he was in this other dimension. No, listen, he's a dictator and he's a power-mad dude. That's what he is.
Okay, Sean, like, exactly. That's, all right. Basically, how to do Doctor Doom, you gotta do, like they did in the Fantastic Four movie, but he also has to be the diplomat from Lethal Weapon 2. He's the one that's always throwing red tape, like, oh, you can't touch me, diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, he does that all the time in the comics. But yeah.
Lethal Weapon 2, I got to rewatch. The first two are great.
You know what? I like all of them. All right.
4 is not good.
No, the fourth one, because they had Chris Rock and just going off on Joe Pesci, because Joe Pesci made that racist comment, and he just went in on him.
Yeah,
4's okay.
It's. I mean,
I know Jet Li gets his ass kicked, but the 4 is okay.
Yeah, Jet Li getting beat up was like fake. I'm like, no. Jet Li could beat up the entire cast.
Mel Gibson cannot beat up Jet Li. No, we know that.
Way.
Not now. Mel Gibson at that time was like 108 years old.
Yeah, like come on. Oh yeah, Lethal Weapon 3 wasn't too bad. I saw that.
That was good too.
Yeah, but 1 and 2 were like
had some sort of message they were talking about. The first one they were talking about kid like trafficking. The second one they were talking about apartheid. Third one they were talking about police brutality. The fourth one they were talking about immigration. I'm like, these are some deep themes they're talking about in all these
for this action series or whatever. Yeah, I think it's like for me it's like I was like a gore hound. Like I want violence, and they got less violent. Like I saw part 3 in the theater, and I shouldn't have been allowed to see it, and that kind of pissed me off. I'm like, I shouldn't be allowed to watch this movie, so I know it's not. It's like RoboCop 3. I'm like, why am I allowed in this theater right now? And then I'm like, I want to see violence and gore, and I'm like, that's not happening. I love RoboCop 2 because the Machine Kane looks incredible. He was badass. That kid was such a dick. I know.
Right when he died, you were like, wow, this guy ain't playing. He's killing everybody. He's killing everybody in his old crew.
It's so funny. He dies in the. I remember I bought the comics for that too. When they came out, like each issue,
them too.
And he dies in that too. Like they didn't sugarcoat that.
I mean, but it's real. I mean, it's more.
Thanks
real
for the sub, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah, I just got a sub from him. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, I figured out what you were saying. That was funny.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, RoboCop 2 is killer, man.
No, the first one, though, they kept on shooting him. They blew his hand off.
Oh, I know. That was brutal. But that's how you make a villain. After that scene, I was like,
you hate him.
Screw this guy. And I'm like, I want to see this guy taken down. And that's how, and that, I like, there's a certain, comfort in black and white where it's like, look, these guys are the bad guys.
Right.
It's like, screw you. It's like, you just shot this guy. You had fun doing it. I'm done with this guy. And I like that, and that guy who's Red from
the 70s show.
From 70s show.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he's great.
Wait. No, it's not Kurt
Clarence,
Fuller.
it's Kurt Fuller's the other guy from No Holds Barred. It's Kurtwood Smith.
Kerwin Smith, yeah. He's great.
He's great. Yeah. So Clarence Bodiger is the character name or whatever.
Right.
And what a great name, because it just sounds like a bad guy. It's like Clarence Bodiger, you are under arrest. No, man, I got protection. It's like, and then when he comes to arrest Ronnie Cox, and he goes, we can't have our machines turning against us now, can we? He's like, that was cool, man. I love RoboCop. I've seen it.
Like you're fired. It's like, gee, it goes away.
I know. It's like, he goes, my programming will not allow me to act against a member of this company. And he's like, Dick, you're fired. And he's like, thank you.
Also, I like how, like, in each one of these RoboCop movies, the real villain wasn't even taken down.
I know, it's the corporations who are controlling.
That old man was a savage. He screwed over his right-hand man to get laid, and then as soon as it became interviews, he's like, we already said it was her. I don't even know her.
Yeah. That was great. Yeah, RoboCop 2. Well, RoboCop 2 is Frank Miller. That's a Frank Miller movie.
Yeah, one of the few ones he actually did. The few successes that he actually did.
Yeah, that he whatever. Yeah, not someone acting like Sin City or whatever.
Sin City was such a cash grab. It was so overhyped.
I liked it. I liked the first one. It's kind of neat. All right. So I think we're going to wrap it up there. What's the time? Yeah, I gotta get up. I gotta get up early.
I gotta watch WrestleMania.
All of us are going to be back next Thursday, and that'll be comic book related stuff, but also whatever's out there. People want to talk, and then we will all be back again on Sunday to discuss Invincible. How many Falcons are left? 2?
I think about
three.
No,
2 more Falcons. Yeah.
2 more Falcons?
Yeah, it's a 6-episode series. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Cosmos. I appreciate that. Wow, 2 more. My God.
Yeah.
There's so much to wrap up.
This is a movie.
Yeah, it's like, where's the power broker? Like,
I think it's going to be lazily written. These last 2 episodes, to me, spun their wheels. Like, I know we had a shocking ending with this last episode, but to me, they could have collapsed a lot of story into these.
The third one, this one, and the third and fourth could have been one.
Yeah, the third episode was really meandering to me. But
it had Madripoor, which was cool. We hadn't seen that before.
I bet you this show was originally scripted like a movie, and they're like, okay, no, we're not going to make it a movie. We're going to make this into a TV show. So we got to put it out a filler in here, and here, just so we can make it longer.
Yeah.
That would not surprise me.
Well, them walking around certainly looks like that. So
yeah. This was like Rock and Roll Nightmare, where he's just driving the bus for 15 minutes. Remember that, Sean, in the beginning?
Yeah.
Which I love Rock and Roll Nightmare. I've met the
awesome.
guy. It's awesome. We're gonna do a stream. Nobody knows me as the horror movie weirdo. I have 5. So I just this is random, really, really random. I just decided that I need to have all 654 horror movies that came out between 1980 and 1989. There's 654 movies that have come out. I already own 200 of the 654.
Only?
That's a lot.
You know what, Sean? I was very surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised, man.
I'm so surprised. There's some I
maybe remember. I'm a little disappointed, but no.
Yeah. I was disappointed in myself. Out of the 650 horror movies that came out in the 80s, I only own 200. I only have about less than a third of them. I thought, wow,
they're not all in print, though. I think that's the problem.
I know,
right?
and some of them are foreign films, which are really difficult to get. So if you don't count the foreign films, let's say there's about 100 foreign films in there. So I own approximately a third of all the horror movies that have come out in the 80s.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do that. We got to do some horror stuff at some point. And because I'm a horror movie super nerd for 80s stuff at least. Anything new.
Well, okay. All right, I'm just gonna say this.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th was super easy to get out of. All you need to do was do a little bit of research, figure out that lake had like some kid who died 20 years ago that night. So you know what? Let's just stay home, get a pizza. We don't need to die.
But they changed it to Camp Forest Green in part 6, so they try to trick you.
They try to trick you, yeah.
And I believe it's in one of them. It's actually the camp next to. There's like
Crystal
a forest. There's something next to Crystal Lake. Yeah, I got to brush up on. I've only seen them like 7 times each, so I have to rewatch some of them.
Wait! You're saying that these people don't have a History Channel? They've never heard about all these people who died here. Like,
I don't know. They want to keep going to the camp for sex. I don't know. I don't know.
Go.
Yeah, that's true. It's like just get a hotel room. All right, guys, we're gonna end it off. So we're all gonna be back next Thursday, 6:30 Eastern. Greymalkin, your info's if you want to subscribe to Greymalkin, his info's in the description. So that's gonna be there. Give him a sub. He does X-Men stuff, as you can tell by his name. And also Steven's website. He's an author. He's in there as well. And I'm also an author. You can, if you care about any of the books wrote any of the books I wrote, you can private message me and I'll send you the Amazon link because they're on Amazon. You can buy my books on Amazon. You can see how brilliant. Yeah, they're official. They are official. All right. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We will be back next Thursday. Oh, I mean, was that the last one? Yeah. So yeah, we're good. All right. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Peace.